dirty, but your love so sweet. Talk so pretty, but your heart pop deep. Never, 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 ever let go.
The first Saturday of October brings us to the Swamp. Steve Spurrier, Florida Field at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. To add to the buildup of a top 10 matchup, it's homecoming in Gainesville. A time normally reserved for easy prey to chomp on. Not today for the Gators, though. The Auburn Tigers are in town with freshman quarterback sensation Bo Nix looking to spoil the party for Gator Nation. And with that, the Home Depot SEC on CBS brings us to Gainesville, Florida. On a hot October day and a top 10 matchup here at the Swamp for the first time in 7 years. Number 7 Auburn to face the number 10 Gators of Florida.
Scholarships are awarded and facilities are built and maintained.
The 84th meeting between these two teams in SEC play. We welcome you, everybody. Brad Nussler with Gary Danielson. Jamie Erdahl will join us on the field momentarily. I say the 84th meeting, but they haven't gotten together in a long time. And finally they do, and not only homecoming, big game, but Gary, this is the start of a big couple of months for the SEC.
The SEC has 5 undefeated teams in the top 10 over the last 9 weeks of the college football season. Those 5 teams will play each other 7 different times. Button up the seatbelts. We're in for a great finish in the SEC.
This is the 3rd time in a month we've had a freshman quarterback starting for an SEC team. There couldn't be a more strange contrast between Bo Nix on one side, Kyle Trask on the other.
Bo Nix only wanted to go to one school, and that was Auburn. Only one school wanted Kyle Trask, and that was Florida. Bo Nix took over his very first game as a true freshman, and he is the guy that has brought this undefeated team. Kyle Trask had to wait 4 years for his first start for the Gators, but now he's their hope. If Kyle Trask doesn't play well, or Bo Nix doesn't play well, the true freshman, they won't be undefeated much longer.
Kyle Trask stuck around. Talk about sticking around. The Auburn Tigers, some of those cats on their defensive line stuck around, or they'd be playing in the NFL already, and they're pretty good.
Much like Clemson last year, the Auburn defensive line has come back for one more year. These guys could have been playing in the NFL. They've come back, and guys like Derek Brown have been unblockable so far for this offense, this defensive line for Auburn. The strength of their team is block those 4 guys up front, starting with number 5. In my mind, the matchup of the day is not the offensive line. I think the defensive line for Florida must match that intensity for Auburn. If they don't, I don't see how they can win.
They've got 24 sacks. They've got 9 interceptions from that defense, and they've heard all week about how good Auburn's defense is. Gators think they're pretty good, too. We think we got a pretty good matchup. Hang around from Gainesville. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Ram Trucks, State Farm, Dos Equis, and by the Home Depot.
Welcome to the Swamp for a renewal of one of the great rivalries in the SEC. The Auburn Tigers versus the Florida Gators.
We back in the speakers, back in black, getting blasted in the bleachers. It's probably true what my mama said. I do it just like my daddy did. We back in the saddle, back on stage, making the whole place rattle. Back with the A-team train on the track. Thought we were gone, but you're wrong. Now it's on.
Here goes Schwartz, touchdown, Tigers.
Gonna walk in, touchdown.
This is the Home Depot SEC on CBS. The best game from the best conference.
Back in Gainesville at the Swamp, Dan Mullen firing up the crowd in his 2nd year as a head coach of Florida. And here come the 10th ranked Gators, 5-0 and riding a 9-game winning streak. And from the plains of Auburn, the Tigers ranked 7th in the country, also 5-0. Their last 6-0 start was in 2010 when they won the national championship. Third member of our broadcast team, Jamie Erdahl, on the field. Jamie?
Well, if you ask Dan Mullen, Brad, the injury bug landed in the swamp right around the same time he did before last season, and it took a bite out of some pretty significant players. Now, if your top 2 cornerbacks are a junior and a redshirt sophomore, you would think they would have logged some pretty significant playing time together by now. But that is not the case for C.J. Henderson and Marco Wilson. Wilson tore his ACL in last year's SEC opener, done for the rest of the season. Henderson has been out the last 3 games with an ankle injury for just the 2nd time in an SEC game. These 2 cornerbacks are starting for Florida's defense, and boy, is Dan Mullen happy to have them back against Auburn's wide receivers.
Boy, no doubt about that. That's remarkable that those 2, as much as highly acclaimed as they are, have not played a lot together. Florida won the toss and deferred. The 84th meeting between the 2 teams. Auburn's won 43 of those, 38, 2 ties. They used to meet all the time, but this is the first meeting in 8 years. Gus Malzahn in his 7th year as the head coach at Auburn. Well, it's October, but it doesn't feel like it.
Down here it does.
Maybe for you.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of folks made it down from Auburn.
I don't think Dan Mullen has to fire up this crowd. They know a good opponent when they see one. They are ready.
Jamie asked Todd Grantham, the defensive coordinator, yesterday, what do you have to do to get your team into this? He said, I don't have to do anything.
Right.
This is Auburn.
And I think that Florida is depending on their crowd to be that extra factor, much like the Georgia crowd was against Notre Dame in that game. They're depending on that offensive Auburn having trouble hearing the signals.
Evan McPherson will kick it off. Noah Igbinoghene back deep with Matthew Hill for Auburn. Here we go from the swamp. And we'll bring it out to the 25. And Chick-fil-A brings us our starting lineup, which starts with Bo Nix, who we talked about, almost born to be a Tiger.
Yep.
With his daddy Patrick, a former quarterback at Auburn. Great game a week ago. He's undefeated as a freshman, 5-0. And there's only one other guy in the country that's doing that at that rate. Booby Whitlow behind Bo Nix on first down from the 25. Play fake, big trouble, and Nix is drilled by John Grenard. He's been doing that all season long.
Comes right out the edge, and that's a missed assignment. Again, communication is so important in these road games. It might be the word of the day with these fast motions, the loud crowd, people, linemen talking to each other, defensive backs talking to each other. You could see a breakdown already for this veteran line for Auburn.
Second down and 10. I don't know if that was a high snap or a direct snap to Whitlow, but he caught it, and he picked up 2. By design, Gary, or did that just come off the center funny?
Let's see. A good one. Oh, yeah. I think that was just a bad snap, don't you?
Lucky Whitlow was there.
I mean, if it's a trick play, they tricked Bo Nix because he thought it was coming to him.
First third down and 8. Empty backfield. Nix trying to be heard.
Communication. Communication so big and so tough to pass block with this noise.
Gonna have to hustle. Just got the snap away. Has time. Throws on third down. Out of bounds. Incomplete, and Auburn will have to punt. Well, Dan Mullen wanted him loud. He got him loud. That helped that series.
No doubt that first play. Now remember, this is a veteran offensive line for Auburn. They returned beginning of the year 141 starts. But as you said, they haven't played in the swamp in a while.
Aaron Sippos out to punt. Freddie Swain is back deep for Florida. Oh, got to the kick. Swain takes a fair catch around the 36-yard line. Well, that brings out the aforementioned Kyle Trask. Hadn't started a game until a couple of weeks ago, since he was a freshman with his JV team.
Amazing story.
Really is. And he has played remarkably well. He was huge in every game so far since the Kentucky comeback. That was the one that started it after Felipe Franks went down with the ankle injury.
I always watching Dan Mullen. His MO, he likes to make a statement early in the game. Remember, it's been all quick passing so far. Let's see what statement he wants to make early.
Well, Michael Pirine flanks Trask in the shotgun. He'll get the call and gets collared immediately by Derek Brown, of course.
Statement might be we can't handle number 5. Let's find that out right away.
Let's look at the rest of the lineup for the Gators. Kyle Pitts, he is a matchup problem for any team. He had a couple of touchdown catches a week ago. Second down and 10. All three wideouts to Trask's right. He goes right down the middle and throws a strike to Swain. Swain might be on his way. Say goodbye, Freddie. Touchdown. "64-yard touchdown strike, and Florida on the board first."
Look a little familiar to last week when Alabama threw a slant pass, break a tackle, and score. Same start, second play of the game.
McPherson will come in for the point after. Up and good. And the Gators in their throwback uniforms. This is the future, not the past.
Yeah, it's a quick slant. I mean, it's not been any surprise here. Trask has been throwing the ball short, gets inside. You get leverage on an inside linebacker, KJ Britt, against the fastest receiver. And that's what Kyle Trask has been doing. Pre-reading what's the best throw and goes against the best matchup. What a play to start a game.
We don't have to call it a drive. It was only 2 plays, but it was 64 yards. And number 16 is the man that took it that far. Florida homecoming in Gainesville, and they're out in front of number 7 Auburn by 7 early. Steve Spurrier, who was in the booth with Gary and I a little while ago, would have loved that play. 64-yard slant strike to Freddie Swain, his 3rd touchdown catch of the year. And for Kyle Trask, his 6th touchdown pass of this season. It's about a 3rd gone. Even more fired up Gator team now on the sideline. This kick will be fielded by Igbenogany. Found a little crease, got out across the 25.
Ness, this is what you call a green light special. Ding, 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 ding. I got a linebacker right here on my inside slot receiver, my fastest receiver. Ding, 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 ding. Yes. Mismatch right from the go. You know, you might think a tight end, that might be a fair matchup, but that is not a fair matchup for your inside linebacker.
No, Freddie beat him to the end zone by 10 yards. Almost as much in one strike as his catches a week ago. Auburn with a little sugar huddle right here. A couple of yards off the line of scrimmage, which is the 26-yard line. Nix overshot his receiver Eli Stove. As we take a look at the rest of the offense, his main man a week ago was Seth Williams with a career high. 8 catches for 161 yards and a couple of touchdowns last week. Bo Nix is off to an 0-for-3 start. And again, he's got almost getting Whitlow's ear hole on his helmet to pass some information to him. Nix quarterback draw. Got some room. He's got excellent wheels. Going to be a yard shy, it appears, on the far sideline.
So if you're a Gator fan and you're wondering what this true freshman Bo Nix is like, kind of think Tim Tebow. That's the style he plays like. He's a strong, powerful runner, still growing as a freshman, as a passer, and the offense is limited. Remember Tim in his freshman year at Florida, what they'll do with him. But the main thing is he knows how to run, and he's a good runner.
2 receivers to each side on 3rd down and 1. Now they stretch Eli Stowe out a little bit farther, and Spencer Nye comes in, the tight end, on a wing to the left, and there's just too much confusion and too much noise and not enough time.
It's just a lot of work to change the play. The word of the day is who can communicate best. And right there, Gus Malzahn said, I'm going to communicate a timeout because you ain't getting it done.
He told Jamie, we worked on crowd noise since fall camp. Not quite as noisy as it is in Gainesville. Stream CBS Sports HQ, the free 24/7 news network for coverage. It's always focused on the game. Get nonstop highlights, fantasy advice, and picks. Download the CBS Sports app to watch today. It's been kind of fast and furious out here so far. We haven't even set the defense for Florida for you. And it's a good one. And one of the guys we highlighted and had a chance to spend some time with yesterday, Jonathan Grenard, has been a force for them defensively. And he already, on the first play of the game, dumped Nix. And right now he's going to try to help his team stop a 3rd down and 1. Schwartz in motion. They give it to Whitlow, and he's not going to get there. He lost a yard. Adam Schuler from his defensive line spot made the stop.
It seems odd to say when you say the matchup of the game is the defensive line for Auburn against the defensive line for Florida. I think whoever wins this matchup, the defensive line that dominates the line of scrimmage the most, will win the football game.
2nd punt already for Sippos. And we know what that guy can do if you give him a little bit of room. Freddie Swain is a return man. He'll have to call for a fair catch and takes it around the 23-yard line. So Florida right back to offense with a touchdown lead. Thursday, kid genius Sheldon Cooper's back in a brand new episode of Young Sheldon. Don't miss TV's #1 comedy Thursday at 8, 7 Central on CBS. So it's got to feel good as a quarterback when your first throw is a touchdown.
Yeah, right? That's always nice. You look at the stats, you're doing well. So the question was, I had to myself about Dan Mullen, is how can he help Kyle Trask? What can he give Trask that he hasn't been given? Been completing a lot of short passes. Well, a short pass with a long run is a good start.
It looks like a long touchdown either way. Fakes it to Pirine, flips it out to his tight end Pitts. Pitts picks up about 4, the tight end. Brought down by Jeremiah Dinson. Here's the Auburn defense. Marlon Davidson leads the team in sacks right now with 2.5. One of the captains, one of those guys up on front that's hard to handle, along with Big Cat Bryant and the aforementioned Derek Brown. 2nd down and 6 from the 27. Play action. Trask running out of time. Finds a receiver, but it's in and out of his hands. Intended for Jacob Copeland, and he couldn't hold it.
Actually thought Copeland should have run harder back to the quarterback that time. When Trask moved his feet, Copeland stopped, and that gave the opportunity for the Auburn defender to make the play. One more hard step back to the quarterback. Tavares Davis, number 13, could not have defended that ball.
Florida's first 3rd down situation. You see they're 50-50 on the season on 3rd down conversions. Pitts, the tight end, now comes way wide out to the bottom of your screen. Trask flares it out of the backfield. The 1st down. Lamichael Pirine.
If you're willing to do that as a quarterback, if you have the, essence of reading that defense and knowing that you've got that back to the outside, not there, help your offensive line with an easy throw, maybe he'll pick it up. You always look bad when you throw one of those flares, they don't get it. But when they pick it up, the offensive line goes, nice job, Q.
Yep.
Nice job.
Dan Mullen was talking with us about Lamichael Pirine being great out of the backfield. That's his 15th catch of the season. And picks up a first down at the 37. Trask going to go to the same well. And nice open field stop out there by Jacoby McClain. That one could have been a big gain or two had McClain not been there. Loss of a yard. Trask 4 out of 5, including the 64-yard touchdown.
See if that front four can make a play here. Now 2nd and long, that's a front four play where they should affect the quarterback.
Play action. The strike down the middle is to Swain again. This time from the right side. And first down, Florida.
The Auburn front was not ready to rush. Again, communication. They're looking for the play, whether they should have a game. Watch them all looking to the right when the ball is snapped. They weren't even ready and allowed Kyle Trask an easy throw in the middle of the field.
He was all by himself to deliver that football.
Absolutely. Didn't have to block anybody.
103 total yards already. 90 of that's to Freddie Swain. Pirine going to get decked for a loss of about 3, and we might have a holding call on top of it. McClain made the tackle. Again, penalty marker, our first of the day down. Mark Curls is our referee.
Holding, number 67 to offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
Chris Bleich, the guilty party. And Kyle Trask, Manville High School, no starts. He played behind Eric King, who's at Houston right now. Made his first start against Tennessee and didn't have a lot of offers for big-time schools, Gary.
Yeah, amazingly, he was a never starter. We'll recruit another guy. You see Kyle Trask, invite him to a quarterback camp, and he outperforms everyone. Jim McElwain and Doug Nussmeier say, do you want a scholarship? He says, yep. He gobbled it when they offered it.
Look out! That time they get to Trask, and the ball pops out at the end. Still free. Let's see who's on it. Auburn's got the football. Christian Tutt caused the fumble. He came barreling in from the secondary.
He sure did. The nickel back that time comes off the edge and unblocked. A bust. Nothing the quarterback can do on this one. He should be picked up in this situation. You depend on him coming off the outside. Runs right back. Look at that. No one off the edge. And he gets it right in the mouth.
That one hurts on top of it.
Dan is talking to Kyle as if, like, that's your guy, Kyle. The guy off the slot is yours. We don't have him picked up. The way I see Dan talking to Kyle Trask going off the field is that was his man, and you should have thrown off of him.
Chandler Wooten is the guy that recovered the fumble after the hit right there by Tutt. And so a golden opportunity here. And Mullen having a chat with his quarterback.
Yeah, and you think that the first outside linebacker out there would be picked up, but in that protection, he was not.
See what Nix and the Tigers offense can do from the 39-0. Again, the heat came from Grenard, I think. Second time he's forced Nix to get rid of the football in a hurry.
Grenard has had to fill in for Zuniga, number 92, their big-time pass rusher. Because of injury, he has played both defensive end spots, and Jeremiah Moon has come in for Grenard when he's not in there, but he has been a difference maker, the transfer from Louisville.
Second down and 10. Nix will keep it, running for his life and losing a yard. Donovan Steiner from his safety spot makes the hit. And that's third down and long. Auburn trying to take advantage of that fumble recovery, and they're going the wrong way right now.
This looked like the play that could have been one of those RPOs, but as the quarterback comes out, the safety just runs it down. Right from the deep spot, an alley runner, almost like option football. He's got the quarterback.
Empty backfield now, so Nix will put it up unless it's a design run for him. Quick toss, complete. Looking for blockers out there is Eli Stove. He got a couple, but he didn't get the first down.
No, but it's close enough. They might have to think about this.
They got a good kicker in Anders Carlson.
Remember, they were stuffed last time. This is just a short pass. Got a young quarterback. They're going to go with a 48-yard field goal. At least they're going to line up for a 48-yard field goal attempt.
Last year, Carlson hit one from 53. As long as this year is 45. As Gary said, this will be a 48-yard attempt. Carlson to try to put the Tigers on the board from 48. Can't do it any better than that. So Auburn made the fumble recovery pay off. They would have preferred 7. They'll settle for 3. 7-3 Florida at the Swamp. Patrick Nix, who did some heroic things for the Auburn Tigers when he was a quarterback in the 90s at the Plains, looking on. And now do Project Smarter, presented by the Home Depot. It's kind of smart to have somebody like Patrick Nix. You recruit him, and against Alabama, he throws the winning touchdown pass in '93. One of the biggest plays in Auburn history. And then a year later, Florida, touchdown. And then, then you recruit his son. That's a smart thing to do, probably from the cradle. And then the kid comes out against Oregon and does that with 9 seconds to go to win one of the biggest games in the celebration that ensued after that. So Patrick and Bo's mom, Krista, looking on. Their son didn't lead a long drive there. I'm sure he'll warm up. He's been a second-half quarterback, to be honest with you.
He has, and more impressive maybe than that pass was he went 4 for 6 on that drive to bring him down there to throw that ball.
That's right.
What a great clutch drive for Bo Nix.
Carlson hit the field goal with a kickoff, and this baby's going way out, and Florida will come out to the 25. So the Gators back on offense with 7 minutes and 11 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The throwback uniforms we're talking about, those are circa 60s when Steve Spurrier was winning a Heisman Trophy, and in fact was wearing that very same number, that very same helmet. Well, the same design, I should say. And when Kyle Trask came in and led Florida the comeback win over Kentucky, one of the first guys that met him in the locker room was the old ball coach to congratulate him on the win. And as I mentioned, Steve was in here a little while ago talking to Gary and I. Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. Trask doing good. Here's the throw.
Throws a catchable ball.
Quick throw out to Tyree Cleveland. Pickup of a yard.
Yeah, Roger McCreary, that time number 23, their third corner in the game, did a great job fighting through the block. But again, the quick passing game, if you're a drop back passer, you don't have the running attack as a quarterback. You have to be a quick decision maker, and you have to make the right pre-reads. The sack previously is what kills you. You're going to be a pocket passer. You have to make decisions prior to the snap and then right after, very quickly.
So 40 yards passing other than his touchdown today so far. Plenty of time off play action, throws a little high, and it was intended for Josh Hammond, incomplete. So Trask came in when Felipe Franks was injured. Felipe with an ankle injury. And if you look at the offensive production, the first 3 games of the season and then the last 2 starts, pretty similar. Felipe was just kind of getting in a groove when he got hurt, which is terrible.
Yep. Felipe made those wild plays, and he could run a little bit, that option. And Kyle does not bring that running attack from the quarterback position.
Pierce goes out as a wide receiver out of the backfield. So an empty set for Trask on 3rd down and 9. 4 receivers to his left. Here comes Auburn with the heat. The throw is to the other side. Incomplete. Is there a flag? There is. And going to be pass interference back there on Daniel Thomas.
I think it was Smoke Monday. Yeah, I think it was Smoke Monday. He's got the tight end, but they're treating Pitts as a wide receiver. When he lines up wide, they're not putting a linebacker out there. They're covering him with a corner. Ball was thrown. It was thrown perfectly, and Smoke Monday was still jamming the receiver downfield as the ball was in the air.
Number 21 defense. Penalty is a first down at the spot of the foul.
And I'm sure he's being told, after your initial jam, just run with them. You can't keep chucking them downfield.
Dan Mullen told us yesterday between Van Jefferson and Kyle Pitts, it's going to be where's Waldo as far as where I line those guys up.
Kevin Steele, the longtime defensive coordinator, very experienced, been in the SEC forever. He was kind of yawning through our interview, right? What about this Pitts guy? He's a mismatch. No, not really.
There he is.
There he is. We just treat him, been here a long time. We just treat him as a wide receiver.
We got something ready for him.
Yep, we got. We're always used to having Kevin up in the booth down the sideline this year.
The first down for the Gators, and Trask under center with Damian Pierce behind him. From the 41, they give it to Pierce, and the ball is out, and Auburn's got it. Tyrone Truesdell is on top of it. Second fumble covered by the Tigers.
When you run the ball, you got to hold on to the ball. Pierce is a big, strong guy, but he got hit head on this time. I think it was 33 Britt. And Britt got beat on the slant, but he evened it up on this one, didn't he?
Man, did he ever.
Hey, Coach, I'm not good at covering wide receivers, but I'm a linebacker, and I know how to back up that line.
Pierce not only fumbled the ball, but he is hurt. Took a big-time shot, lost the football. They'll work on him. It'll be Auburn on offense when we come back. Damian Pierce coming off a big game in the win over Towson last week, and he just got leveled, and he's heading to the locker room.
It looked that Britt had a line on him right there, but then he comes inside to feel the hole. He feels it outside to set the edge, forces the running back inside, and makes the tackle.
So Auburn on fumble recoveries has taken over offensively at the 39 on the last drive, and now at the 44.
So you go 3 and outs, and what does Gus do? Give you something you've never seen before for Auburn's offense. Except it took a little too long and they gave it away. Are they going to review this last play?
I don't know what there is to review. Oh, they're looking at a targeting possibility, maybe? I thought it was a pretty clean hit, but I was watching the ball pop up in the air.
Let's take another look at it. Yeah, I know he does, but I don't know what you're supposed to do. The running back lowers his head. This is where you need help. You know, if you're a fan and you're used to watching football, the linebacker comes up to make a tackle and the running back lowers his head. We do know helmet to helmet, but boy, that's the tough one. Yeah.
Gerald Hodges is our replay official here in Gainesville.
You see on that play, Pierce lowers his head, but Britt lowers his head as well. I guess as a defender, you're responsible for your helmet.
Targeting is not a foul that can be reviewed by challenge. Cannot be challenged. Florida will not be charged with a timeout.
So Gene Steratore is our rules official. Gene?
From what I'm gathering, Brad, it sounds as if the coach was calling timeout, wanted to initiate a challenge on the play. By rule, he can't initiate a challenge on that targeting play. It's something that replay would have to initiate. And I think that's what the discussion is right now.
Okay.
So, Gene, the replay official must not think that's not targeting because he could take over, right?
Exactly, Gary, and that would be my assumption on the play as well.
So the replay official did not feel that that fell into targeting. That's why he let it go.
Dan Mullen's still not happy about it. At any rate, we're right back where we started.
So, you know, our instincts were the middle linebacker is looking at a running back. The running back lowers his helmet. What are you supposed to do? In this instance, the replay official says, no, he's carrying the ball. He lowered his head. That's a good play.
Second down and 7.
I'm kind of happy with that call. I don't know about you. I think that's football, Brad.
Yeah. You got to tackle some way.
Yes.
Nix off play action, fires out to the outside and intended for Schwartz, incomplete, and it's 3rd down and long.
Yeah, there was nobody to throw to that time. Right now, Bo Nix can feel the pass rush. One of the things we talked to Gus Malzahn about is, what do you most want out of Bo Nix? And he said, poise in the pocket. But when you get a first play sack like he did, it's hard to keep your poise. I'd say this defensive front for Florida right now is more than holding their own in this game.
No doubt. 3rd and 7. Nix. Now he's got an open guy. It's complete. It's a 1st down toss to Will Hastings. And it's good to see Will back. It took him a year to come back from the knee injury, and he's getting back to full speed.
Originally came to Auburn as a kicker and worked his way into being a slot receiver, and he's almost uncoverable on that option play in the slot.
It's Will's 10th catch of the season. Good for a 1st down.
And I thought Bo looked as good as he looked on that throw.
Yep. Cam Martin in the backfield, and again the shift, bringing Eli Stove over in the slot. They run it straight up the middle, and a good gain that time. Cam Martin.
If you talk to all of the coaches in the league about the Gus Malzahn offense, they'll all say the same thing. All the shifting, all the motion, and the jet sweeps, yeah, they'll eventually get 1 or 2 of those on you, but they're all trying, what Gus is trying to do is get that eye candy so you can run the ball between the tackles. And that's what he did successfully finally on that 1st down play.
That's almost exact opposite of what most fans
think. I know, exactly.
2nd and 4. They'll try it again, this time only about a yard from Martin, and we'll bring up 3rd down. John Bernard in on the stop.
So right now, if you're Gus calling this play, you're thinking back to that initial series when they got stopped on 3rd and 1, and you're going, what am I going to give my football team here? We've got a lot of veteran players, but this Florida defensive line right now is proving tough to be blocked, excuse me.
Little chomping going on for the defense. On 3rd and 3. Whitlow ran into a stone wall, and he's going to be stopped right there.
Yeah, I really thought we'd get quarterback options, something to the outside of the play this time. They just tried to power the football, double tight end, and nothing at the point of attack. And I'll tell you what, that Florida secondary really hit it fast that time. Think about that later in the game, because in on that play was the safety to make the play, Jawan Taylor. And if I'm calling plays for Auburn, I'm remembering that on 3rd and short next time.
Anders Carlson's already hit from 48. This one's closer from 39. Ledbetter to hold. Carlson's kick up and good. So all 6 points have come off the right leg of Anders Carlson. Auburn draws within 1 here in Gainesville. Our aerial coverage here in Gainesville, sponsored by State Farm. As you look in on Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, Steve Spurrier Florida Field in Gainesville. Carlson tees it up. There's been a Carlson kicking for Auburn for, it seems like, a decade. His brother before him. Freddie Swain and Tyree Cleveland wait back at the goal line. Probably not to be returnable, but we'll see. And it won't be. So Florida and Trask will bring it out to the 25. Trask, of course, in because Felipe Franks out with the injury. And I know Jamie spent some time with him before the game. Jamie?
I did. Franks had surgery at the beginning of last week on that foot, and one of his first visitors after surgery was, of course, his quarterback partner, Kyle Trask. He said that is one of my favorite things about him, is that all his time at Florida, he has remained the same teammate now that he has taken over that quarterback position. Franks told me one of the hardest parts of this rehab process for him is that immediate detachment you feel from the team, because it's one of his favorite quarterback rooms he's been in. He has a year of eligibility left. Brad, he said he's not sure whether or not he's going to come back. He's going to make that decision when he's 100% again.
Jamie, thanks. Good to see Felipe at least smiling out there. on his cart. Empty backfield and Trask to throw on first down. A little crossing route, not out there defensively. Good play by Igbenogany in the cornerback spot. And there's Felipe on the cart. Right leg injury suffered in that Kentucky game.
He did give Dan that odd option look, you know, to keep the defense off balance. That one more running guy that I think Dan really calls a better game when he has a quarterback that can run the ball.
He disputed that in our meetings yesterday. Told us he hasn't really had that many running quarterbacks, and we started naming Alex Smith, Tim Tebow, just kept going.
Another great tackle by that Auburn secondary.
That one's Roger McCreary that time.
You get the feeling right now that this Auburn secondary is saying, okay, it's the short passing game. We have to move up, tackle better, get closer so we don't miss those tackles, and see if Kyle Trask is willing to go long.
Just wait and wait and wait to see if he's going to uncork one to Van Jefferson. He's been one of his big play guys. Third down at 7. Going to be another short pass out of the backfield, and Auburn makes the hit there again. Brings him down at the 31. First hit was Igbenogany, and then he got help from his friends.
Igbenogany was a receiver 2 years ago. Last year he transitioned into being a corner, and now Kevin Steele says number 4 will be a star. He's one of the fastest guys on this Auburn football team. Well, they might have a receiver that's faster than him, but he's one of them. And you could see right there how physical, split the blockers and came up and made the stop. Well, part of the stop.
Part of the stop. Tommy Townsend to punt for Florida. Christian Tuts, who forced a fumble earlier in this quarter, back as a return man. High wobbly kick. Tut going to tell everybody to get out of the way. Oh, and it hit him. I think everybody's scrambling for the ball. It's still loose. At the 3-yard line, I think Florida's got the football. Tut just tried to clear his teammates out, and in the meantime, the ball took a bounce.
Well, he made 2 mistakes. Number 1 on that high punt, you got to field it. Then he's trying to say, be careful, and the ball gets on him. The second mistake was worse than the first mistake, and it proved to be deadly. Watch out, guys. It's on me. And he never could get back and get on top of it. Christian Tutt trying to play it too safe, and Florida gets the ball on inside the 5.
The kick was touched by Auburn, recovered by Florida. Florida's ball first down. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 55, Florida, pulling a player off the pile. That's a 15-yard penalty. It'll still be Florida's ball, 1st and 10.
Right, but it's not going to be at the 2-yard line anymore.
Unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
How different is that? Getting the ball on the 17 instead of the 2. Okay, it skips towards Christian Tutt. He's trying to warn everybody else, and no one warns himself. First of all, he should have caught the ball. It was high enough for him to catch it, and he does not.
Tyree Cleveland was closing in on him from this side, number 89, and then
clearly touches him, goes right through his way. He kind of Bill Buckner's it right there, right between his legs.
Jeremiah Moon, number 7, is the guy that came into the top of the frame, and he's the guy that ended up on top of the football.
Yeah, hits his left knee, and then he almost kicks it with his right foot. And then right at the end, one of the Florida players pulls someone off the pile for the 15-yard penalty.
Not only that, it's his first unsportsmanlike conduct. If he gets another one, he's gone. So instead of at the 2-yard line, it's back at the 17. Nonetheless, another fumble. We've had some of those today that have been big here in the first quarter. Emory Jones in at quarterback for a little changeup for Florida. Keeps it. Stood up and still driving, though. Got about 3 out of what looked like nothing.
Well, the question was, how do you help Kyle Trask? Because right now Florida has -4 yards rushing in the football game. You've got to give the quarterback a chance. And no matter how many times Dan tried to tell me he doesn't need a running quarterback to make his offense go, still in the first quarter, he's going to look at one.
7th time Jones has carried it this year. He got about 3, 2nd down and 7. Now he comes up throwing, complete to pitch. The tight end tripped up. Could have gotten a lot more out of that, but it was a nice job out there by Dinson to get a hit on it.
Auburn has 5 returning defensive players that have career 100-plus tackles in their career, and Dinson is one of them. Clean tackle on that play to Prince.
Now Trask back in on a 3rd and 7. Try to take advantage of the turnover on the punt. Probably the final play of the quarter, if we even get one here. Just before the clock expired, Trask hit from behind. The ball is out. Derek Brown scoops it for Auburn. The big fella going down the sideline, showing his speed. Whoops.
Oh, my goodness.
The turf monster got him at the 34-yard line.
It's a touchdown. He trips over the 35-yard line. Marlon Davidson, number 3, is going to take the sack on the play.
Trask is saying he was in the motion of throwing.
Let's see if Kyle Trask is right. It's coming from his opposite side right here. Number 3 coming off the edge. He beats Forsythe. Number 70. No, that ball came out of his hand before it left his hand. And Big Brown is with it, and I think he's clear of everyone. Yeah, that's not a pass. That's going to be called a fumble. Good job by the referees and not calling the incompletion, going with the fumble call.
We'll come back and look at it a few more times, but that play ends the first quarter with Florida up by 1. We start the second quarter with Auburn at the Florida 35 after taking over on the fumble recovery and return by Derek Brown. Here's a big shift by the Auburn offense. Bo Nix comes up quickly under center, gives it off to Schwartz on a sweep, and Florida's all over that. So all kinds of shifts, misdirections, and a loss of about 4.
One more look at the play. Right there is going to be Marlon Davidson, and he's coming off the edge on this play. And we just look at it right here as he comes around. He clearly knocks the ball out of his hand before he throws the ball. Kyle Trask.
Big Derek going the other way. Might have had a touchdown if he wouldn't have lost his balance. But then most guys running that fast don't weigh 318 pounds. Yes. Nix double pumps, throws a streak down the sideline. It's intercepted by Florida. Sean Davis going the other way. Still on his feet down to the 31-yard line. Big turnover by the Gators.
Well, Sean Davis, I think Odell Beckham this, by the way. I think he snagged it with one hand on the play. Nix waits a little bit long. Sean Davis reads the quarterback's eyes, and bang, a one-hander.
That was beautiful. That's the first interception thrown by Nix at 118 passes.
Personal foul, blindside, number 71, Auburn. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
Fumbles, interceptions, and big-time flags in both directions.
So as Bo Nix reads it, he reads man-on-man coverage, starting out the play right there. He follows the out and up. He looks at the quarterback the whole way. Canella, who's who the ball's going to, one-hands it, and then gets into the secondary. Gets into it for a great return. Turnovers, huh?
Yeah, and big penalties. That would have been at the 33-yard line with his return. As it is, they're going to set the sticks right around the 18. So an opportunity for Florida here. And the flag down.
Ball start, number 76, offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
There's the blindside hit by Driscoll, the right tackle, at the end of the play. Touchdown first on the second snap of the game for Florida. And then 3 fumbles and a punt in the last 4 possessions.
And the 40-yard line tackled Derek Brown, where he'd had a touchdown.
Right. Back out at the 23 after the false start. Little delayed pitch. Well, Michael Pirine got it back to the 12.
Well, Dan Mullen will find a way to keep his quarterback in the run game. This time he does it with a little bit of an option look, gets that running back to the weak side into the boundary, and that time really out-schemes Kevin Steele. He had a play on that the Auburn defense could not stop.
See what Mullins got dialed up on 2nd down and 5 at the Auburn 13-yard line. Empty backfield for Kyle Trask to throw across the middle, complete. It's a Florida touchdown to Josh Hammond. "13 yards, second touchdown pass of the day for Trask."
You get the guy you want the matchup on, you go with it. You got another linebacker covering a receiver. There's the matchup. Linebacker on receiver on the play. Stop and go. Beautifully designed play. You love that as a quarterback. You got 2 touchdown passes, both of them with a wide receiver on a linebacker in the game so far. That is great coaching and great game planning.
Evan McPherson in for the point after, up and good. Again, it's only a 2-play drive, much like their first touchdown of the day. Kyle Trask stands tall, delivers across the middle to Josh Hammond. 14-6 here early in the second. Thursday, check out the new comedy about getting out of the house and getting back in the game. Don't miss The Unicorn. Thursday at 8:30, 7:30 Central on CBS. Another 2-play drive for Florida. Josh Hammond caps it with a 13-yard touchdown catch. Now Bo Nix and company waiting to get it back for the Auburn Tigers offensively and see if they can do something other than kick field goals. They'll come to the 25-yard line as we welcome you back to Gainesville. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jimmy's down on the field. Had a little bit of everything. We haven't seen a unicorn yet, but we've had just about everything else in the first quarter.
You know what's really stood out to me, though, is the Florida receiving corps. They got 4 wide receivers that's spreading this Auburn defense. Dan Mullins finding matchups and adding in Kyle Pitts, the tight end, has really thrown off this Auburn defense.
And Auburn hasn't been able to do much on offense so far. Nix looks a little rattled.
And it does appear that Gus is still not comfortable letting Bo Nix really, open up the offense here on this home field. Excuse me, this away field, this home field for the Florida Gators.
There's the quarterback comparison. And Nix going to throw on the run out in the flat to Stove. Ooh, he got upended. Marco Wilson hit him low. Got a short gain out of it.
Continue to try to spread the ball out. The normal Auburn inside running game has not been there.
There's a big collision by Whitlow and bounced off Amari Burney and picked up extra yardage. Still is going to bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, but so far in this game now, if you're calling plays for Auburn, I don't think you're real comfortable just handing the ball off. There's no carry on Johnson back there to run the ball.
3rd down and 2. Auburn only 1 out of 5 so far today in this situation. And it's straight ahead, and second effort by Whitlow might have gotten him there. Well, if the headlinesman comes out and places it where he's got his foot, it's short.
A lot of motion, a lot of eye candy from the secondary. You get a little blitz on the play, and just short. You don't think 3rd down was stress for the Gators? Last week, Towson was 8 for 15 on 3rd down against the Gators, and so far, this 3rd down defense, especially on short yardage, has been stellar for Florida.
That's how close it is. Freddie Swain waiting on the punt from Sippos as you look behind him. Fair catch, taken actually out of bounds. Good catch by Swain around the 28-yard line, somewhere in there. Put it down at the 27. 11:29 remaining first half from the Swamp. Big Derek Brown and the Tigers and the Florida Gators in a 14-6 affair.
Adam Zucker, New York, with this Papa John's update. Number 8, Wisconsin, in between Auburn and Florida in the rankings, easily remaining undefeated. Jonathan Taylor cannot be tackled by the ankles. 10th straight 100-yard rushing game, 5 total touchdowns, and the Badgers get their 3rd shutout of the season as we go back to the Swamp.
How good is Jonathan Taylor? We don't have a back like that here today. 14-6 right now, Florida in front.
Well, if they do, they're not blocking that front. They don't have any room to run. These men up front are stuffing this line of scrimmage in the run game for both sides.
Malik Davis in the backfield with Trask on the first down from the 27. Kyle steps up, goes down the middle and overshot Freddie Swain by a mile.
Last play, now Dan Mullen was concerned with what he thought was 12 men in the formation and a late substitution. It's like 12 men in the huddle. Seth Williams right here is actually 12th man. When he leaves, Dan is saying, well, why isn't that a penalty, 12 men in the huddle? The official holds the play, but Dan and Todd Grantham was saying it should have been a 5-yard penalty.
Empty backfield for Trask here. 4 wideouts to his right. He's going to come back the other way and completes it to the tight end Pitts. He swarmed under at the 32, and it'll bring up 3rd down again. So Pitts has not been able to get loose. Got a couple completions, and that time they split him out wide to the left and had 4 receivers in the other direction.
He did good tackle, good defense, but it also accomplished going from 2nd and long to 3rd and short.
Yeah.
Now that Auburn defense has to defend everything short. You know, with your offensive line struggling and a good pass rush for Auburn, they don't have to hold the ball as long.
A little better on longer yardage conversions than they are on short. This one's the shorter of the 2. 3rd down and 3. Trask, quick slant to Pitts. Did he hold it? I didn't think he caught it, but maybe he did. Apparently so. Javars Davis was covering.
Yeah, Davis didn't think so, did he? If I'm Florida, I'm getting up there fast to try to snap it. Slant pass. Oh, I think didn't that bounce after he caught it?
They're doing exactly what you said they were going to do. The center judge gets out of the way.
I would say this will be
whistle.
stopped. This will be stopped.
The completed pass is under further review.
Good job by the replay official. Wait till the snap is imminent and then stop it. And I thought the ball came out. It did.
Right there.
Yep.
Great acting job by Pitts. I'll give him that. He's under it, and then it hits the turf, and then he scoops it with his left hand.
Basketball season starts soon, but not soon enough on that play.
They're still getting the floor in over at the O-Dome right now. This one seems pretty obvious, even though Dan Mullen is pleading his case.
Now they'll have to figure out where the ball was. The chains were moved, so the time is being taken right now to move the ball back to the prior snap, so it would be a 4th down play. This is where I think the communicator and the officials need to work harder. When the chain moves, they got to know where that ball was
After
previously.
further review, the pass is incomplete. It'll be 4th down on the 33.5-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 10:37. 10:37 on the game clock.
Back to the 33 and a half.
And you can't blame the chain crew, right? I mean, it's going fast foot. I say, don't blame me. You guys called 1st down. I just went with it.
If you want to run tempo and you call 1st down, I'm moving those babies.
I'm moving those babies. I'll get fired if I don't move these things.
Tommy Townsend to punt. Christian Tutt, who had trouble on the last one, is back deep. And now it's a fake. And Townsend's not going to get anywhere near the 1st down.
Wow.
Tanner Dean stayed home to make the tackle.
In practice, Townsend did run of these, and early in the year, he ran one for a 1st down against Miami. He must have a green light to do it when he thinks he's got it.
That light was too green.
No, that was...
a stoplight.
Yes.
At least a yellow caution.
Must have been looking at his iPhone when he was looking at that green. It was not there. These are two of
Tomorrow, NFL on CBS, full slate of games. The Patriots head to our nation's capital. Chargers and the Broncos in the late game. Nance, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson. We'll have that one for you. And it all begins with JB and the guys mapping out the day on the NFL Today at noon Eastern tomorrow on CBS. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jamie Erdahl, and our CBS crew at the Swamp, where Auburn has it at the 32-yard line of the Gators. Bo Nix off play action, steps up, going deep. Out there's got a man. Touchdown, Seth Williams. Right on the money between two defenders.
Well, Jamie featured the two corners for this Florida defense. Two high-level corners, but this time Seth Williams just abused on the post right there. He thought, I believe Marco Wilson thought he had help inside, but he did not. Little motion, outside technique, and the safety never gets to the throw. Bo Nix delivered it right on target, and Seth Williams is a big, strong receiver, and he gobbles it up.
We highlighted him earlier in the lineups after his career day last week with 8 catches and a couple of touchdowns, and he's got one here today for 32 yards. Donovan Steiner slowly to the sideline as the Gator that's shaken up. He was in on attempting to get to Seth Williams at the goal line.
He was the free safety on that play. A little motion at the beginning of that play, and Marco Wilson never got in his technique. He was outside, and it was an easy post call. And right now, it seems a sloppy football game, and it seems like a lot of mistakes, and we're just seeing a lot of stuff here that's...
I thought we'd see maybe a 2-point conversion, but Gus Malzahn has decided not to chase those 2 right now.
Yeah,
Carlson's out for the point after.
A little early. I don't have any problem with this. But just mistakes all over the field.
Auburn's hit 299 straight extra points, mostly from the foot of Carlson's. Just got it inside the right upright.
So the ill-advised fake punt.
Yep.
Give your punter an option to fake it, and he did.
Our touchdown drives today, 2 plays twice for Florida, and a 1-play touchdown drive for Auburn. 14-13 in the Swamp.
Adam Zucker in New York coming up on the Geico Halftime Report. Rick, BJ, and I get you caught up on today's action, including LSU, the highest scoring team in the country coming into the week. 5 more touchdown passes from Joe Burrow, a 42-6 win, hosting the Gators next Saturday.
1-point game with 10:23 remaining in the first half from Gainesville. A 1-play 32-yard strike from number 10 to the guy right behind him, Seth Williams, for the touchdown. And Bo was struggling early, but that last completion will make the stats look a lot better, and a happier sideline in a tight game here in the second quarter. Carlson, who hit the extra point, set to kick away. All but 6 of his kicks this year have been touchbacks. This one will be as well. So for Florida, we've had miscues, as Gary said, sloppy play, fumbles, the kind of an ill-advised fake punt this deep in your own territory and having to go that far to get to the sticks, and Townsend got nowhere near it, and then Auburn took advantage, Gary.
Yeah, and the matchup is right here, the outside corner and the safety right inside. He's looking inside. My drawing was it's a bit off, but with the motion, you see he bumps down, but not tight enough. That allows the throwing lane. Good route by Williams to push out on the corner, and a good delivery on first down for Bo Nix. You know, at that time of the fake punt, Auburn only had 1 first down in the game, and you're fake punting.
Trask on play action, throws the out complete. Nope, went out of the hands. Beg your pardon, Josh Hammond, who he hit with a touchdown on his last drive, couldn't hold it.
Trask got hit late on the play after he delivered it.
Oh boy.
Yes. I think it was Marlon Davidson who lodged the ball before, free on the fumble. I think it was him again, number 3, that came in on the throw.
Remember, Trask got leveled by Christian Tutt on a safety blitz earlier in the game, and now here's another look, and this is the big fella coming around the corner.
You think he's going to get rolled up this time? Watch out for the leg on this play. Yes, the left knee. Left side, as you plant that foot, you get rolled up. And remember,
the starting quarterback for Florida, we already saw in a boot Felipe Franks out for the season, and Kyle Trask is in some serious pain right now.
And serious frustration. He's worked for 4 years to get an opportunity to play, and right now he's feeling, I'm out, I'm hurt, and it's over this fast. How frustrating can that be?
And he's been hurt in 2 previous years here, a meniscus tear and then another injury, and
the frustration's worse than the pain. Believe me, I have been there. You work so hard to get an opportunity to play. Someone falls on your leg just when you're emerging, doing what you dreamed of doing, and now you might be out.
Emory Jones is warming up on the sideline.
Let's just hope it's a shock field. Dan Mullen's upset that the Marlon Davidson went at his knees. If you looked at it very carefully on the play for this, I think Stone Forsythe, number 17, was actually pulling Davidson down. You almost could have called full holding on the play.
Trask is walking on his own.
Well, that's the shock at first. You'd wonder what it is, and now you don't know. Brad, I have walked off and had surgery on my knee.
Really?
Yes. So you never know until you get back there. Watch the pull down with the hand right there. That throws Davidson off balance and into the player.
And the crowd giving Kyle Trask a huge ovation as he heads to the locker room. And we'll hope that it's something not like Gary was talking about, that maybe he'll be all right, or at least all right in a couple weeks.
I think Dan, when he looks at this, will not think this is a dirty play.
I don't think so.
The Forsythe was pulling Davidson down on the play, and I don't think he could stop his momentum.
Nope.
I think that's a good note.
Marlon Davidson's got 280 pounds going as fast as he can around the corner, and he just happened to end up in a bad spot on the quarterback for Florida. Emory Jones, now the redshirt freshman out of LaGrange, Georgia, is the man of the hour. And there's what he's done coming in. He had one rush earlier, had one series down near the goal line on the first 2 plays before Trask came in on 3rd down, but now it's his show, at least for now.
We asked Dan what type of quarterback Emory is. He says you'd be surprised. He was not a running quarterback per se. He threw the ball with spread in high school when we recruited him.
Here's the run all the way on 3rd and 2, and he's got the first down out close to the 40. Jeremiah Denson knocked him down, but they'll move the sticks.
The worry here, if you're Dan Mullen, is you don't have another quarterback.
Nope.
You're down to your 3rd one, and when you run your quarterback now, one good pop, and you could be looking at, well, a wide receiver playing quarterback next?
Either that or a true freshman. First down at the 39. Jones, plenty of time. Going to air it out down the middle. Freddie Swain got a right hand on it, and then it hit him in the face mask, I think, as he was trying to bring it in.
Yeah, Noah Igbenogany that time did a great job adjusting to the throw. He was playing the wide receiver to the top of the field, but after he sees the quarterback throw it down the middle, there's enough air in it that he can make up the yardage and dislodge the ball.
That's a pretty good throw, Garrett.
It was. I think that ball might have been caught if number 4 hadn't cut across Freddie Swain. You really would love your receiver to get both hands up on that.
Yeah, Emory thought he had it too. Instead, 2nd down and 10, the 9-minute mark. Blitz coming from Auburn. Jones, look out from behind. He throws a strike down the middle. Freddie Swain, first down.
I tell you, it's crossing routes. This is like watching 1985-84 Florida offense. Steve Spurrier's up here going, yep, I got that play.
I think that one's a catch. Looked like he had the ball between his elbows.
There too.
Up to the line at the 47. They're ready to go. First down in Auburn territory. Twice as much total yardage basically for Florida so far. Jones off play action. Steps into another one down the middle of Freddie Swain again.
Usually, if in college football, coaches are very nervous about letting their young quarterbacks, inexperienced quarterbacks, throw the ball between the hashes. 2 straight completions, and actually the one before the incompletion 3 balls in a row right down the middle of the field. All could have been complete. 2 of them were. I don't think they've changed the offense at all.
I don't think they have either.
Nothing.
Jones will give it off. Michael Pirine. Pirine got a couple.
Besides the 1 run when Emory Jones, took it up and just made the first down play, it's been the pass offense. Those really gifted Florida receivers are showing why a lot of people think they might, there's a lot of good groups of receivers in the league, but they don't have to take a backseat to anyone.
This is about the best one they've had in a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a group.
Absolutely. And everybody knew they were coming into this season. Van Jefferson and Grimes, Cleveland, Swain, Hammond. It was a good group, and they've proven to be so.
Freddie Swain already over 100 yards receiving. Here's a little slip screen. Oh, nice play defensively by Javaris Davis, trying to get Tyree Cleveland out in some space, and he blew that up.
I think if you play corner for Auburn in spring football and in fall camp, you see a lot of these wide receiver screens because Auburn loves to run them too, and they attack the play and very successfully as well.
Well, Davis was shaken up a couple of plays ago. They were retaping his right hand.
Yeah, I think he ran into his own player on that pass rush right after on the play down in the middle.
They're down at 8. Florida's going to keep it on the ground, and Michael Pirine didn't get much. KJ Britt made the stop.
And I think they did not want Emory Jones to make a mistake. He wanted to turn a 1-point lead into a 4-point lead right now. He had a successful drive. He says, I don't want you to make a mistake right here. Let's just put some points on the board.
We talked about behind him would be a true freshman quarterback, Luke Matthews, who's the son of Shane, who played here. He would be next in line. They don't want to get to that point with any kind of injuries. This is a 41-yard attempt from McPherson. And it's a beauty. So they did tack on 3 more. 41-yard field goal good for the Gators. They extend their lead out to 4. Little under 6 minutes remaining in the half in Gainesville. Emory Jones engineered a nice looking drive after Kyle Trask went down with a lower leg injury, and they went 52 yards in 10 plays. Ended up with a 41-yard field goal to give them the 17-13 lead.
You've got this Auburn offense, the Gus Malzahn offense, that has rushed for 20 yards in the first half.
Wow. Of course, Gus calling the plays this year, had it the past couple of seasons. Happy back doing so. Touchback, bring it out to the 25. Gives us a chance to tell you about our Scholar Athletes presented by Amazon Music. Nick Brahms, professional flight management major, and Tyree Cleveland, majors in family, youth, and community sciences. Amazon Music showing their commitment to the investment of our future by donating $1,000 to Auburn and Florida's General Scholarship Fund. There's what Gary was talking about. They're a little under their average.
Yeah, and I don't know if this offense, I don't see how, it's not Jared Stidham back there throwing. He needs to help this quarterback. I thought it'd be the other way around. But how does he find some running game for this Auburn offense?
It's like a false start by Driscoll down there on the right side.
Before the snap, false start, number 71, offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Try to get an update on Kyle Trask. Jamie, what do you got?
Well, I don't have much. He still is in the training room. I was back in the hallway outside the locker room. I was asked to leave, but I did see Coach's wife, Megan Mullen, stop in there. Now, we know the story of her after the last game when Kyle Trask broke a record. She was the guy, she was the person to tell Kyle that he did so. So they have a special relationship. She's checking on the quarterback right now. Okay,
Jamie, thank. That record was 18 straight completed passes, 15 in a row at the beginning of the game last week. Here's a hit put on Seth Williams, the guy who caught the Auburn touchdown pass. Brad Stewart levels him.
Well, It may feel frustrating if you like these wide open offensive games, but this Florida defense and the secondaries, actually for Auburn and for Florida, they attack these bubble screens, don't they? Both sides.
They bring it in a hurry, and they're good tacklers.
Yeah, they're not allowing the quarterback any cheapies to the outside right now.
Second down and 17. Quarterback draw for Nix. Bo gets about 8 back. Still going to be third down.
Interesting time of the game. Remember, Florida will get the ball to start the second half. You got a freshman quarterback. You got third and long.
Here comes Kyle Trask out of the locker room to a huge ovation, and he's running, or at least jogging, and he's going to start warming up. Boy, that's good news for everybody involved, including us. Never wanting to see anybody get hurt. Meanwhile, his freshman counterpart for Auburn in an empty backfield on third down and 8 from the 27. Scrambles to his left. He's going to run to his left. Can he get to the sticks? No, not quite. Good job by Marco Wilson with the open field tackle.
Absolutely. That situation, you're thinking the great athlete Bo Nix can make this first down. Remember, he made a fourth down play against Oregon to move the chains and set up the winning touchdown. That time, the secondary, again, sure tacklers, comes out and stops it and gives Florida the ball back with an opportunity here.
4th 3 and out today for Auburn.
They got 2 first downs in the first half.
Yeah, they got a 1-play touchdown drive. Sebos end over end, fair catch by Freddie Swain as he falls down at about the 20-yard line. 3:44 remaining in the half. Florida with a 4-point lead, and they've got the ball back. And here comes number 11 with a brace on his leg, but he's ready to head back out to the huddle apparently.
Yeah, you wonder if he might be the emergency quarterback here, though, in case something goes. Are they just? If I was thinking, I'd try to get to halftime if I was the coach here.
There you go, Gary. You called it. Here comes Jones, and Trask just backpedals.
Yeah, I think that's good coaching right there. Let's give it some time. You could be going on adrenaline right now. Let's make sure. Let's give it to halftime. Emory's doing fine.
Jones, the give to Davis. Malik Davis for a couple. And Marlon Davidson, who's back in there with a retaped wrist, makes the tackle and then helps him up.
You know, looking at this Florida offensive line in the run game, you're not going to blow these guys off the ball. I mean, this is almost like NFL blocking. You just kind of get a stalemate, turn your butt in the hole, and hope that running back can crease it out there for 4, 5, 6 yards. It's not like you're going to have one of those gashing openings for somebody to run against this defensive line.
It's not like the Hogs or the Redskins, and John Riggins is going to run through a truck hole. And little,
that's how you got
that's sneaky right there. Yes. That's Malik Davis just waited and waited and then saw a little crease and took it for a first down.
They actually take advantage of Derek Brown this time. Derek Brown penetrates up, and the running back, actually, that creates the space. Brown gets into the backfield, and that creates the hole up front. They don't have that kind of picket fence defense. A lot of times those defensive linemen can get too deep and actually open up a lane for the runner.
Saw Malik Davis just take his left hand and kind of push Nick Buchanan, his center, in the butt to get Brown out of the way to pick up the first down. And that's a quarterback draw all the way here for Jones. And he got about 4. As we're down under 2.5 minutes.
I think Dan Mullen is still thinking, I got a young quarterback in the game. Maybe if I get out to the 40, 45, 50-yard line and open up, but I don't want a mistake right now at this point of the game.
Florida has all its timeouts should they choose to use them. With a 4-point lead, approaching 2 minutes on this snap. Second down and 6 for the Gators. Trayvon Grimes is the motion man. Jones throws the other way. Oh, man, he had Pitts with a half step over there, and he overthrew him. Coming up, Adam, Rick, and BJ will have first half analysis, scores, and highlights on the Geico halftime report, which is just under 2 minutes away. Now you got third down. And do you let him throw, or do you keep it on the ground?
Well, you also got the quarterback run game with him in the football game, too. I just think right now, I want to get out of the half. You got a 4-point lead. You can't make a big mistake.
Here comes a blitz. He throws it to Pitts, and Pitts is going to lose some more yardage. Back to the 30.
Big Cat Bryant, number 1, got the pressure on this screen pass, but I think Kevin Steele was thinking like I was thinking. They're not going to take a chance. They're going to throw something weird at us, and they had it sniffed out.
Auburn took that timeout to get the ball back and force a punt. Everybody up close for the Tigers. I don't think Tommy Townsend's going to fake this one.
No.
Kicks away. Christian Tutt, and again, little trouble with it, but he does make a diving catch for the Tigers, and that's where they're going to work on offense. Coming up tonight over on CBS Sports Network, it's a Mountain West showdown as number 16 Boise State takes on UNLV at 10:30 Eastern. Carter Blackburn, Aaron Taylor, Jenny Dell will have the call for you. And here in Gainesville, opportunity for Auburn with 1 timeout left and a minute 38 seconds to go in the half from the 32. Fakes it to Whitlow. Nix fires near sideline. Back shoulder throw. Did he catch it?
He was shoved out of bounds. I don't think that's going to count.
Oh, let's see. 2 officials are going to have a chat.
No, I think he caught that out of bounds.
Incomplete.
Yep. C.J. Henderson, number 1. Powerful Seth Williams. Foot never comes down, shoves him out, and that's a good defensive play right there. Keep your wits about you. Use the sideline to your advantage.
C.J. Henderson with the play. Didn't play a week ago, as Jamie told you earlier. Makes a nice play there.
Interesting call right here because Florida now has 3 timeouts left.
And still 91 seconds to go in the half. Nix incomplete. Clock stops with 1:27 to go. And it's 3rd and 10.
I thought for sure we were going to get that quarterback draw or wide receiver screen, an easy completion. Now stopping the clock again. Florida's going to call timeout if there isn't an incomplete pass after this play.
Looked like a little confusion on Auburn on where everybody wanted to go. Will Hastings finally got over as a slot man to the left on 3rd down and 10. Empty backfield. Nix throws late, throws long, throws incomplete. Schwartz was the closest guy. Marco Wilson the closest defender. And it's 4th down.
And still a minute 19 seconds to go. 3 straight incompletions.
This might be the longest 2.5 minutes we've had all year.
It has been, hasn't it? There's a lot going on and nothing at the same time.
Exactly. Like another 3 and out.
Yes. And I don't think I've ever done an Auburn game where they had 2 first downs in the first half of the game.
I don't think we have at all. Sipos. Freddie Swain is going to let this one bounce.
Got a good bounce out of it.
Yeah, got it up to about the 32-yard line where Auburn downs it there. So a minute 9 to go, and all 3 timeouts remaining for Florida. SEC homecoming blues for Florida in the last several years. Losses to Vandy and Missouri. Came back and won a couple of those. And then LSU and Missouri. More losses. They're hoping that doesn't happen today. They've got a 4-point lead, and their starting quarterback, who wasn't their starting quarterback until 3 weeks ago, out of the locker room with a brace and back on the field.
They need about 35 yards to get into field goal range. Make this a 7-point lead.
See how Kyle Trask's mobility is in that Florida pocket. Couple step drop, lofts one too high, intended for Pitts, incomplete. Jeremiah Denson was covering.
After he lets this pass go, you know, when you have an injury, you can kind of feel that rush. He throws it and kind of bounces and just kind of really didn't step into that throw.
No.
That ball sailed on him pretty badly. Remember, that's his step. He's stepping into that left leg when he throws. You've got to step. That weight shift into your left leg is important when you're throwing the football.
You know he's throwing here. 2nd and 10. This one complete to Hammond. Broke one tackle, close to a first down, but there's a flag.
Yeah, I think it might be on Forsythe again. Stone Forsythe. Remember, he had a holding. He got away
number
with
72
last time.
offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 2nd down.
Nick Coe took an inside release that time, and Stone Forsythe just grabbed him. Watch Coe come inside, and the left tackle, number 71, grabs him by the. It's a good, easy call.
Coe, another one of those guys. It's a defensive end, outside linebacker type.
Yeah, he's actually listed at almost every down lineman spot on the depth chart.
Preseason 2nd team All-America. Just another one of those hosses they got on that front wall for Auburn. 2nd down and 20 now. 58 seconds till the half. And whistle stop this play as well.
I wonder, did Auburn take a timeout here?
We only have one left.
Before the snap, false start, number 56 offense. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Well, the two tackles having some problems.
58 seconds on the game clock.
Well, this, you know, when you watch the tapes.
Running, the foul does not include a 10-second runoff.
Thought Mark Curls was part of our broadcast team there for a second.
Yes, he was. When you watch this offensive line, they have struggled. There's no doubt about that. They brought Brett Heggie, number 61, over to the right side to kind of calm down DeLance, number 56, give him some communication over there instead of having 2 young guys. And nothing's going well for him so far.
Now they just keep it on the ground. P. Ryan breaks a few tackles and gets out to the 23. And with that confusion and that young offensive line, might change what happens here in the next 52 seconds. Timeout. Gene DeLance is being helped to the Florida locker room. The right tackle was called for the last penalty, I believe, after Stone Forsythe had the one before that. And on that offensive line that Gary was talking about that's been shuffled so many times to try to get experience and youth on both sides. And now they lose another tackle, and that means Bleish and Forsythe are the 2 guys at the tackle spots. Here's a jump pass complete out to Van Jefferson, who hasn't been involved much today. Spins his way up to the 33.
And even without an incompletion, but anything short of a first down, Auburn's going to force a punt with a timeout here.
They don't have a timeout left.
No, they don't. You're right.
So there's
if you don't have any.
There's about a 3-second difference on the play clock.
Even they'll still force a punt because they'll have to take a delay again. So Florida will still have to punt the ball or
unless you want to take a snap and run around for a second.
Or throw one of those deep passes to run the rest of the clock out.
Those are your 5 options.
We eventually rounded into it.
We're going to see what they're going to do in 2 seconds.
Same game. Offense. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down. The penalty includes a 10-second runoff.
And looks like Trask is going to come out.
So the play we've seen in college ball in this situation is you catch the ball, throw it out of bounds, nice and high.
Auburn has declined the 10-second runoff. 4th down.
And
4th
run
and
out
14.
the rest of the run of the half. All you got to do is kill 2 seconds here.
Just don't hurt your left knee doing it. And there goes the long ball Gary was talking about. His time has expired, and that one goes all the way into the 3rd row, and somebody made a pretty nice catch over there on homecoming. Halftime. See, I told you he made a pretty good catch. Florida out in front at home, leading 17-13 on a homecoming weekend.
Yeah, that's about as messy as a half I've seen between two top 10 teams, haven't you?
Yeah, and yet we had some big plays too.
Yes.
And the leading coach is with Jamie.
Coach, what do you know about the status of Kyle Trask's left knee and his availability moving forward?
Yeah, he's going to be okay. He's going to come back. I think he's got a light sprain to his MCL, but you know, hopefully they try it in the league, really tries to keep quarterbacks safe from dirty plays.
4 turnovers for you guys this half. What did you see on those plays, and how do you shore them up?
We can't turn the ball over like that. Each one of them's an individual deal, right? You know, I mean, you can look at each one. There's not one that's the same. We just got to clean up, do a better job protecting the ball.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, so by his response to Jamie, he thinks the play by the defensive line for Auburn was a dirty play that took his quarterback out momentarily. 17-13 as we head to Adam Zucker and the guys in our New York studio. Zuck.
All right, Ness, even more to discuss now. Coming up here on the Geico Halftime Report, Rick, BJ, and I will tell you about another high-powered day for Joe Burrow and the LSU offense after this word from your local station.
Pass looks to throw. He's got the receiver. They're swaying. He's going to go
Near the end zone. Touchdown, Auburn!
The best game from the best conference.
Well, the best ranking of these teams in this conference. I'm not sure about the first half of play, as we're just about set to start the third quarter from the Swamp in Gainesville. Florida will be getting the second half kickoff with a 17-13 lead. Anders Carlson has got it teed up. This one a shorter kick, returnable from the 4-yard line. Oh, there was fair catch called, so they'll bring it out to the 25, and we'll bring you back in the booth. Welcome back, everybody. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson. Consensus, G, around the press box at halftime. If these two teams are in the top 10, they should start playing like it in the third quarter.
Well, let's try to put a good spin on it.
Okay.
Maybe instead of unforced errors, there were forced errors in this game, because there was a lot of good tackling. I think the defensive backs, when they took the short passing game, there was no bubble screens, wide receiver screens. Everything had to go downfield. I think Freddie Swain at halftime's going, nobody's covered me yet.
Down on the slant.
Yes. Could I have another chance to go down the middle of the field?
Let's see if Kyle Trask will give him a chance. Play fake. Trask going to go far sideline and got it to Freddie Swain as we check in with Jimmy.
Well, Gary, everything you said about all the other coaches in the league saying that Gus Malzahn runs the ball gets the ball to the outside just to be able to run the ball, he just admitted that to me. He said, we got to get back to the run game. I asked him about the decision making by quarterback Bo Nix. He said he's got to settle in. It took him too long within this offense to feel like he was comfortable. He's got to settle in and feel more comfortable here.
Well, we're going to see he's been a second half more comfortable quarterback. This quarterback, Kyle Trask, if you're just joining us, went down with a lower leg injury, went to the locker room, came back out with a brace. He's back at the controls.
Did they call that an incomplete pass, huh? It looked like he caught it, but he was knocked away right at the end.
So second down and 10. And the RPO, Trask, there's a slant in and out of the hands of Kyle Pitts. Let's take you back to the incomplete pass that I called complete.
Yeah, it's stripped, never really controlled. Swain never comes down in and poached out that time. Javarius Davis does a good job of getting his hand on that ball right at the end of that catch.
Nobody's been very good on third down today. Florida's got a long one here, 3rd and 10.
In our defense, we missed that, but we looked very good on camera in that situation.
You did. Empty backfield for Trask. Running out of time, throws across the middle. There's Swain. First down. As Gary said, here I am. Can you throw it to me? Roger McCreary was a step behind.
Well, at least they've got a corner covering him on this play instead of a linebacker. And it's actually the same play that was a touchdown to Hammond early in the game. It's a little bit of a stutter. He goes out, he stops, and then he goes across the defender's face. Good job that time by Trask buying time to allow Swain to get across.
Eddie Swain putting together a career type of day. 5 catches, 136 yards, and a touchdown. The throw to the outside to Pitts. Good job to bulldog him down after a 4-yard gain by Igbenogany. First half game trends. There's the numbers for Trask and Jones combined. Bo Nix struggled. 5 out of 14. And again, an Auburn team that likes to rush the football and has 35 yards on the ground. That's not going to do it. There's Freddie, all career highs.
Yeah, has not been coverable in the game. He's had one knocked out of his hand, but nobody covered him.
Ryan comes out as a wide out to the bottom of the screen. They go back the other way to Pitts, who makes a tough catch in front of Jamie and Sherwood.
And that seems to be where Dan Mullen is trying to create this pressure point. He understands that Auburn is covering Pitts as a wide receiver, and that's allowing those inside slot receivers to match up against safeties and linebackers. That seems to be the game plan that has opened up for Dan Mullen the most.
They're going to measure this. Yes, they are. If the line is true, it's a first down, but we'll check it. Line's right on. First down.
Perfect. So they come out of halftime. Florida gets the ball. 5 plays, 5 straight passes.
The ruling on the field of the spot of a first down is now for review.
Now we're going to review the spots. Pitts was kind of turned around with his body backwards when he made the catch and ended up a little bit short, but it's a matter of forward progress, and if the ball was across the line, there's another look.
I don't think there's enough there to overturn that.
I don't think
no, there was forward progress, I think, right about that yellow line. I don't think there's enough for the replay official to overturn. He was driven behind the line, but I think his forward progress was right at that yellow line. I don't see enough to overturn it.
Pitts is a big target, 6'6", 239. He had 3 catches all of last year and had 4 for 2 touchdowns last week.
The runner was down with the ball at the 46-yard line, short of the line to gain. It's 3rd down and 1.
Okay.
So they felt as differently than I did that he was driven back. I thought he caught the ball, ball's at the line, forward progress, and he's driven back. And they're good at where he came down.
There's no way it should be at the 46.
Yes.
Gene Steratore is with us. Gene, what do you think?
You know, I'm agreeing with everything that you're saying, and it is where the football is at its furthest most point of progression. From our angles, this looks well beyond the 46-yard line. I am really surprised that they changed something like that so quickly. It didn't seem like that bad of a spot at all to me in real time, guys.
And Eddie, right now it's 3rd down and 1. They fake the handoff to Swain, and here's a guy with a bad leg running the football.
Look how big that spot is. That change right there on a play to me that could have gone either way to get an overturn. It's going to cause a punt here.
Yep. And it puts your quarterback in harm's way when he's already playing on a bad leg.
And you wonder if they're going to do that. I mean, I really didn't think they would be running him, but if I was running my quarterback, I'd bring in number 5.
Yep. Instead of a first down, it's 4th and 2. So that is a huge turnaround.
Wow. That has ramifications.
Tommy Townsend in punt formation for Florida.
Tommy Townsend to punt. Tut's just going to let it go, and it made the end zone, and he's lucky it did. Should have been probably fielded by Tut. Out to the 20 we come with the offense, with Auburn down 4, and we come back. Now let's test your knowledge with today's Aflac trivia question, which is
Aflac.
Mike's on. Prior to Kyle Trask, who was the last Florida starting quarterback to wear number 11? We'll test your listening skills too, because I think I gave that away in the first quarter. Run up the middle, good for about 4.
So think about this Auburn offense, an offense that routinely goes over 400 yards for Gus Malzahn. They had 92 yards in the first half, and a third of it, 32 yards, were on one play, a pass play.
A pistol set here with Whitlow behind Bo Nix. And now he flanks to his left. They fake it to him. Nix does it himself. Got collared right about at the line. First down line a little bit short.
Number 58, John Grenard this time. He can hold a conversation with us. Watch him try to tackle both guys on the play. He's got the running back, and then he goes, oh, they're trying to get the quarterback as well.
3rd and 1. Schwartz in motion. They fake it to him. They give it to Whitlow, who trying to spin his way, and he's not going to get there. It'll be 4th and 1. David Reese stood him up, backed him up, and got help from his friends to drop him.
I think John Grenard, though, also number 58, coming off that edge, blew the play up again. Watch him come around the corner real quick, forces Whitlow to jump in the backfield, and when you jump that deep in the backfield, it causes another 3rd and short non-conversion for this Auburn football team.
And another punt. Zippos to kick. 6, 3 and outs. That's 3 and ouch. Freddie Swain camps into this one with a fair catch around the 32.
Like being a good center fielder, you see that ball, you run to the stop, and you save yards.
Having a career day as a receiver. Pretty good job on the returns as well. We'll return after this timeout. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Allstate, Go RVing, Sonic, and by Bud Light. You look in high atop the stadium in the Swamp. Our aerial coverage sponsored by State Farm. Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. Steve Spurrier Florida Field, and affectionately known as the Swamp on homecoming, where Florida leads by 4. First down, Gators for their own 33. Kyle Trask got some pressure up the middle, and one hops it incomplete. Wait a minute. Is there a flag? No, it's just a quarterback getting up again. Defensive lines have been strong today, Gare.
They sure have. We said in the beginning of this day, could Florida's defensive line match this Auburn defensive line? Auburn's been the real deal, but Florida's defensive line has been a story as well. Neither team can block the other team's front four.
Number 23 defense. Penalty is a first down at the spot of the foul.
Well, a pass interference on McCreary.
Yeah, Roger McCreary is going, I've been trying to play tight coverage. Coach said take away the slant, and I get called right here. Yeah, he grabbed just the shoulder pad. See that little tug right there? Just that tug right in there. That's exactly what the official's looking for. That jersey right there.
Malik Davis, he got about 4 out of it. Jeremiah Denson brings him down.
It really feels to me that this Auburn secondary is up now trying to clamp on everything. Is there going to be this time for the play action pass and hit a deep one here?
Again, Van Jefferson's been pretty quiet. So is Tyreek Cleveland.
Those safeties have been making tackles at the line of scrimmage. When are they going to get something deep?
Hammond and Swain have been the guys that scored touchdowns off the arm of Kyle Trask. Here comes the heat. He got rid of it just in time. Incomplete. The intended for Tyreek Cleveland.
See, every throw right now is a tough throw. This Auburn secondary is going, okay, we've seen enough of this. Because Mobley, number 55, puts the pressure of come around the corner, and Trask has to move up into the pocket, but the coverage, I think, looked good.
I'm not sure that Moultrie didn't almost get a hand on that
pass. It as well.
Yeah. Still came spinning out of there, but it looked like it changed it just a little bit.
Third and long. Let's see if this Florida offensive line can hold up here and allow Trask enough time to throw.
Third and 7. They're going to bring extra pressure down the middle and broken up, incomplete. Christian Tutt breaks it up on a pass intended for Hammond.
Same thing I've been talking about. Every defensive back now is not backing up. They're playing the first down line. Tutt never took a step back. 6-man rush, and he said, they're going to get there. I don't have to move back. Look at him, just squatting, not moving back at all. Someone in the press box has to say, we've got to throw the ball deep on these guys.
Todd, who just made the play, drops back as the punt return man. It's been a 3-and-out day. Townsend takes a step to his right, punts it away. And the ball is going to make it to the end zone. So they'll bring it back out to the 20 again with 9:28 remaining. Long series between Florida and Auburn over the years. The 84th meeting. But the first trip to the swamp in 12 years for Auburn. And they're still trailing the homecoming Gators here in Gainesville. A little earlier, we asked you the athletic trivia question, which was, prior to Kyle Trask, who was the last quarterback to wear number 11, and I told you I gave it away in the first quarter. Steve Spurrier threw for 259 and a touchdown against Auburn. Maybe the most memorable moment came a little bit later. Steve was on his way to win the Heisman Trophy that year in '66. Had the old square toe shoe, came in, hit a 41-yard field goal, and Florida won it 30-27. At Steve Spurrier Field here in Gainesville. 17-13 right now. Bo Nix throws a strike complete to Cannella, and he's got a first down to pick up a 12. Sal Cannella's first grab of the day.
Well, Sal Cannella has a little bit of a story, just like Kyle Trask. Not highly recruited, went to Auburn, made a career of himself just showing up and being there.
Here's 3 yards for Whitlow, who's been unable to get really anything going on the ground at all today for Auburn. Fans have done their job today. They've made it pretty miserable for Bo Nix. 2nd and 7. Whitlow. Again, 3 or 4 tough yards. Still going to bring up a 3rd down.
Yeah, and in the so far in this football game, this Florida defense have stopped Auburn short of a first down on 3rd and 1, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, and
pretty much
3rd
everything.
and 1. Yes. But the short yardage stops, they have just handled them in this game. 1 for 9 in the football game, but 4 very short. Jabari Zuniga, who we thought would play, has not been on the field in 1 play in this game.
And we got motion, I think, on Driscoll, the right tackle.
So instead of being 30 short,
Before the snap, ball start, number 71, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
And that crowd has made an impact again.
Yep. You see number 71 take his 1 step sideways.
And if anybody should be used to the Gator crowd, it'd be Driscoll,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. He's the only guy that's ever played here on Auburn's team, but he wasn't a Tiger then. And it was Grenard that he was worried about coming off that edge, who's been a disruptor, number 58 that we talked about earlier. 3rd and 9. Nix flush sideways, throws a side arm, and almost completed it to Seth Williams, but it's incomplete.
You know how you really measure a corner is right at the end of the play. When you're a corner and you've got a good receiver in front of you, do you panic? Do you grab the guy? Do you give them a cheap penalty, or do you play through the play? And C.J. Williams did that very well. He's the bigger of the 2 corners and matches up well with the big Seth Williams. 1 for 10 on 3rd down.
It's not going to win you many games. Zippo's punt chases Freddie Swain over by the sideline where it goes out of bounds. Not the best kick in the world.
And here's what's happening to the Auburn defense now. The plays are mounting up against this Auburn team. It's 33-50. Florida has the advantage.
Next Saturday, the SEC on CBS features #1 Alabama and their big-time offense, led by Tua and company in enemy territory, taking on Texas A&M, ranked number 25. All begins with a drive to Atlanta and college football today, right here on CBS. Hope you join us from College Station. And Kyle Field here in Gainesville, 17-13. It remains at the midway point of the third quarter. Kyle Trask has a look at that Auburn defense. It's been pretty stingy today. Gives off to Pirine for a yard. Owen Papo, a true freshman linebacker, made the stop.
We talked about, Brad, that maybe somebody from the box can give Dan some help about the receiver squat. And he's got plenty of guys that knows him. Yep. That's for sure. A staff that's been together for at least 11 years. And, of course, the guy upstairs, Brian Johnson, was his quarterback at Utah.
You know how each other thinks. Here's some pressure. The throw is going to be no interference. Okay. Igbenach, there it comes.
Yep. Didn't
come from one official, but it came from about 15 yards away. Big Nogany did everything but take his wallet.
He got there just a half step early, didn't he?
Pass interference, #4 defense. Penalty's a first down at the spot of the foul.
He's a pretty impressive football player. I'll tell you that. Goes about 6'2", returns kickoffs, learning to play the position better and better. Now he is a shutdown corner in this league.
First down by penalty at the 35 for the Gators. Each team with 6 for 50 today. Here comes a blitz. Trask hangs in, and that's going to be another flag on the same guy, on the same receiver, Van Jefferson.
I think Van Jefferson is the best route runner on this Florida football team. Very smooth, veteran football player. Really beats the coverage that time, and there's nothing that could happen but a pass interference on that play.
That time he took his wallet and his money clip.
Sure pass interference, #4 defense. The penalty is a first down at the spot of the foul.
Well, keep doing that until it doesn't work anymore,
yes.
I guess.
There's no doubt that Dan Mullen went in at halftime and said, we can't run the ball effectively. We are going to throw the ball.
And even though the throws aren't complete, it hasn't mattered.
Ball's moving.
It is going down the field. On the 46.
First down, Gators.
This is a blitz look. There's no one in the center of the field.
Evan still keeps dialing up the blitz. Florida keeps picking it up, and there's a throw and catch. Good to Swain, who adds to his already impressive day. 6th catch for Freddie.
Swain's looking at the sideline saying, I told you, no one can cover me again. The Auburn defense is looking at the sideline with the snap of the ball. They had no one deep. They were playing man, which are basically a zero coverage. Instead of getting a strong rush, they're looking over to the sideline for a call.
Another first down to Freddie Swain.
The high-end receivers are doing a good job for this Florida football team.
First down to the 44 of Auburn. Play action. Trask in trouble this time. Throws it away. Catch by Whitlow on the sideline.
Yeah, I'll tell you, big Derek Brown that time put some pressure. Look at that Auburn defense looking over the previous play. They're all looking at the sideline. They don't get a good blitz, and it was a blitz cause that really was called on the play. And that time, Derek Brown was in the backfield and caused that early throw from Trask. And he might be a touchdown route.
Holding, #61, offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
Brett Hagee, the right guard.
He tried to hold number 5 and he couldn't do it. He's looking inside, gives the speed.
Got a late jump too.
Arm under, and there goes number 5 right into the face of the quarterback and called right at the end of that play.
He was a half step slow coming out of his stance, and you can't do that against a guy like Derek Brown, or he'll eat your lunch.
If it looks like Derek Brown has a pad under his chest, he was knocked out in the Kent State game, did not play the second half. Kevin Steele told us the story that he actually practiced on Tuesday with the bruised sternum, and he's still playing with a pad there.
They get to him from behind. This time it's Moultrie coming around the corner, number 55.
Yeah, that's a little bit too much to ask if you're Kyle Trask for your offensive line. You might be able to take one step up into the pocket, but coming off this, there's no room to go up the middle. Those big defensive tackles, and coming around the outside, Moultrie beats Gene DeLance, who was struggling with that knee. Probably is not at full strength playing here in the second half.
Third sack for Auburn today. Second down and 23 now. Ryan goes for 4 or 5, brings up third down again.
Well, we made the point that Auburn was 1 for 10 on third down, but it's not like Florida's lighting the field on fire. They're 3 for 11.
Came in at 50%. Not having that kind of day at all today.
I usually like to do a play call on 3rd and 20, but Brad, I'll let you handle this one.
Okay.
Okay, what do you want to do on 3rd and 20 right here? Throw it quick?
Throw a really quick slam.
Here it is.
Now it's a slip screen out there to the wide out, and it got about 4 yards for Trayvon Grimes.
If you're going to try to get a first down, by the time your receivers get that deep, you'll be sacked. I think that was a good discretion is the better part of valor on that one.
So it brings out the punting unit. Tommy Townsend to kick.
That drive was basically a couple completions and a couple pass interferences, right?
Yeah, exactly. Townsend hit his last 2 punts a little too far. Turned into touchbacks. Now he's just holding on to this thing forever. And now kicks it. That might be the one he should have run, but it was too far to go. He would have had to get to the 44-yard line. Flags down.
Auburn had 2 defenders right there on both sides of the blocker saying, go ahead, try it. It's 20 yards. You'll never make it. You try to run that one.
The officials with a conference going on here. Basically everyone was downfield by the time he kicked it, with the exception of the 2 guys Gary was talking about. And I mean 20 or 30 yards downfield.
During the kick, holding number 19, Auburn. The penalty is half the distance to the goal from the end of the kick. First down.
So an Auburn miscue on a special teams play again, and that'll put them in a hole offensively as we check in with Zook in New York.
Hey, Ness, Missouri's Kelly Bryant throwing a touchdown on this play, but watch his lower left leg. A low hit, a penalty on the play, suffers a lower leg injury. Just saw him on crutches a few minutes ago. He's ruled out for the second half in their final non-conference game.
Oh, boy. Having a great start after his transfer from Clemson. And of course, we had a lower leg injury on a starting quarterback here, but Kyle Trask with a brace has come back to play the majority of the snaps at quarterback. And now the freshman quarterback's in a tough spot for Auburn because he's got the crowd in his ear and he's standing in his own end zone to try to start the drive. Two tight ends in there. They're going to give it to Whitlow. He got back to the line of scrimmage and maybe eked out a yard, and that's about it. This guy has done it already. 3 or more wins away from home against top 25 teams. They did it in 72, 83, 2004, the national championship year that I mentioned. Now they're off to a 5-0 start, but they're trailing by 4, and they're backed up near their own goal line.
Well, remember that win against Oregon. They were 15 points down in that football game and came back and won the game.
And Bo Nix threw a touchdown pass with 9 seconds to go to win that one. He might have to be Mr. Fourth Quarter again here today. Whitlow, a little delay, and now maybe his best run. Whitlow out across the 20 to the 21.
That's the 4th first down of the game for Auburn, and the first of the 4 that was done on the ground. All other 3, the other 3 were all done through the air. Not like a normal Auburn offense.
14-yard run by Whitlow, by far the best of the day. And they go right back to him, and he's got another pretty good one going here. So Whitlow on the last 2 carries is 22 yards. They didn't even have him that much before those 2 plays.
Yeah, Jack Driscoll that time, the right tackle, does a good job of getting his movement to his side. He gets Grenard that time and gets the edge of this Florida defense for the game.
So finally a little ground game works for the Tigers. 2nd down and 2. They keep feeding him, and he keeps eating it. Out to the 37 this time for Whitlow, and another Auburn first down.
One of the things when we talked to Gus Miles on about Whitlow, he says that we're trying to keep him fresh for the second half of games in the second half of the season. He does look fresh right here in the second half.
He does. And his offensive line coming off the ball for him as well. This time, Cam Martin, who's giving Whitlow a breather.
And it's really the first time all game that the Auburn offense has been able to go fast. They've not been able to get enough yards or get a first down to go fast. It's the first time we've really seen Gus Malzahn be able to put his high-tempo offense on the field.
We approach a minute and a half, 3rd quarter. Auburn's offense starting to gear up. 2nd down and 6 on their own 41. Play action. Nix loads, fires deep. Man there. Got him. Couldn't keep his footing, but it's first down at the 13. Seth Williams again.
Well, I was saying that Florida needed to throw the deep ball, but Auburn beat him to the call. Seth Williams comes down and just runs right by. That's not even a big fake or anything. C.J. Henderson just looking in the backfield.
They didn't have the stick set right there, but at any rate, there's a first down to Williams again, this time to the 10.
So you're able to run the ball a little bit, and all of a sudden, you get the Florida defensive back staring into the backfield, and number 18 makes a great catch. And how they're schooled now to turn so the ground doesn't cause a fumble on the catch. Good job by Williams.
Florida's been unbelievable in the red zone this year. The first red zone appearance for Auburn. They're at the 10 after back-to-back Seth Williams catches. Now the play fake and trying to get it to him again, and that one was behind him and low.
Yeah, he was upset with the throw, and Gus is upset with the outcome because he had it. He had what he wanted, the slant to the outside, and it's just a poor throw by the quarterback. Nix turned ahead, Gus,
3rd down at the 10. They can get a first down at the 3-yard line. Third and 7. 3 wideouts to the near side. And Williams to the top of your screen. Here comes a blitz and a flag as well.
Another procedure.
Marquel Harrell might be the guy.
You got it, left guard that time.
Before the snap, false start, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Todd Grantham dialed a little bit of a different defense. He was going to blitz from one side and drop from the defensive line. Watch, coming from one direction and dropping from the other side. Never had a chance because they had illegal procedure.
There's Todd, Florida defensive coordinator. Malik Miller in the backfield with Nix. More importantly, it's 3rd down and 12. They show the same setup of receivers. 3 to the near side, including Canella, and Williams up top. 4-man rush. Nix to the end zone. Intercepted by Florida. And it's Donovan Steiner, and he threw it right to him.
Sal Cannella is saying, put that ball up in the air. I'm 6'4", put it up near the goal post, and I can catch it. Here's the interception. Cannella's going to go behind it. He needed to put it over that safety's head, and he does not. 2 poor throws by the true freshman quarterback.
And the reaction from the head coach, what you could expect. He thought he had a touchdown on the previous play, and then his freshman quarterback threw it right to number 13.
But his senior guard didn't help the situation either with the penalty on the play before. A little bit too much, and this time number 13, Steiner, got there. Remember, he didn't get to number 18 before. And this time Bo says,
Florida takes over. Under center is Trask from the 20-yard line. And a 2 or 3 yard run by Malik Davis might bring our third quarter to a close. Costly turnovers, costly penalties, missed plays on special teams by both sides, and we're still stuck on 17-13. We're going to switch ends.
Yeah, it's one of those games where if we could just do a little bit less worse than they're doing, we could win this game.
We'll see who does worse less in the fourth quarter. End of 3. Florida 17, Auburn 13. We'll return to Gainesville right after this message and a word from your local station. As it always is, Tom Petty, late native of Gainesville, has the crowd rocking as we start the fourth quarter. And Kyle Trask comes up throwing. Nice adjustment by Pitts to make the catch, and he's into Auburn territory at the 46-yard line.
Boy, get bump and run coverage. You have a 6'5" tight end mismatch to the outside, and you just take it and throw a back shoulder throw. Can't do it any better than that.
Put the brakes on in front of McNogany, and he's got a first down.
It has been a passing game. We had a question before the game, can Florida run the ball without a running quarterback? The answer is no, but they're throwing the ball with a throwing quarterback.
From the 46, now they'll keep it on the ground and lose a yard. Well, maybe he got back to the line of scrimmage, Malik Davis.
Florida in this game got under 40 yards running in a football game.
Well, the fourth quarter's been theirs. Best in the country. We'll see if they've got more in store today. We're a minute in. They lead by 4, and we've been stuck on 17-13 through from the first half. Second down and 9, just outside the Tiger 45. Throwing on the run and completing it out to Josh Hammond. Kyle Trask did a nice job of buying himself some time.
He sure did. Push from the outside. Forsythe does a good job of cleaning the pocket. Trask feels it and gets it out. They are definitely picking on number 4. He gets a few penalties. Igbenogany now has been the pressure point on this attack for Florida.
So Trask, even though he went down earlier with a lower leg injury, is over 200 yards passing now.
You get a couple penalties on the defensive back and you start throwing at him.
Play fake. Trask takes one step up and throws a strike to Pitts. Kyle Pitts, another Gator first down.
Well, Pitts came into this game the last 2 games. He had 11 receptions, 4 touchdowns, and he's having a big game again. That's his 8th, or is it his 9th? That's his 8th catch of the game so far.
He has 8. Swain has 6.
It's almost like checkers right now. If he gets a small corner on him, they're just throwing the ball and just back shoulder throwing him and just saying, he's too big for you.
2.5 minutes into the quarter, and Florida on the drive and back in the red zone at the Auburn 18-yard line. Auburn's bringing the heat, and again Trask keeps the ball and loses 2 or 3.
Yeah, that time Pete Malik Davis, number 20, goes, just pitch that ball to me. I got outside, you could have pitched it to me. does appear that, you know, the total amount of plays now moving up on this Auburn defense is starting to have an effect. Just don't seem to have that edge they had in the first half. 61 plays, and by the way, Florida's one of the, I think they're ranked 12th in the league, 63 plays a game. One of the worst teams in the league for controlling the ball, but in this game, they are controlling the football.
Average for them is under 29 minutes. Time of possession a game. They're using all of the clock here, too. Trask. And he's hit. Ball is out. The big fella's got it again. Derek Brown took it right off his hand.
I just said they were tired. How could you do that when you're tired?
Because he's going to be a millionaire next year.
Exactly.
Wow, number 5 is hard to deal with.
From that defensive tackle position. Goes up against a veteran player, just pushes. Actually, he got 2 guys. Heggie had him at first, number 61, but he pushes right through Heggie, reaches out his left hand and steals it.
I'm not sure if that's a fumble return or an interception, but we'll give it to him.
Unbelievable.
Wow. Defensive lineman's dream and a happy coach on the sideline. Auburn's got it back. Time now for our ExxonMobil game recap from the Swamp. Number 7 against number 10 here on homecoming. Kyle Trask. That's not the first time he's going to be hit and fumble the football and have number 5 end up with it. Bo Nix, a couple interceptions today. He had gone 119 passes without throwing one. He's thrown 2. But Trask hung in. He's done what he's had to do. Throws some crossing routes to Freddie Swain. In that case, Josh Hammond, part of his 2-touchdown day. Even though he was banged up, he went to the locker room. Got a knee brace on the left knee, came back, and he's played the rest of the game. Bo Nix threw a dart to Seth Williams in between 2 defenders before halftime. That got it to 17-13, and then a very ill-advised pass. I don't know if he never saw Steiner or not, but that's kind of where we are. But Gary, we also are having the Derek Brown show a little bit going on here.
Good player's a good player. He's kind of doing the Quinnen Williams defensive tackle thing. When you've got a guy that can disrupt the offense from that tackle position, that puts a lot of pressure, and he has been the star as advertised.
He gave it back to his offense with that last play right before the timeout, and so
both of these defensive lines have matched up. 7 turnovers, 16 penalties,
wow,
and a botched punt where Florida tries to fake it. It has been both defensive lines that have been tit for tat.
And boy, the guy that's been one of the disruptors for Florida is down right now. John Grenard, the transfer from Louisville, who we spent time with yesterday, has got a personality that would light up the whole stadium, and they work on him with 11 minutes and change remaining in the game. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Amazon Prime, Aflac, Chick-fil-A, and by Microsoft. Down to 11-12 remaining. John Grenard came off under his own power. They're working on his right ankle. My guess is he will be back out there, knowing John Grenard. Meanwhile, the 2nd down and 4 for the Auburn Tigers at their own 46, trailing by 4. And here's a good-looking run by Whitlow. The second half, he has come to life, and he's got a first down at the 38-yard line.
And just as advertised, as we were told, they try to get a fresh Whitlow in the second half, run right off that double team inside. That's what works so well.
Yeah, 14-yard run.
Kim and Orell, number 54 and 77. Good job.
He's had 14 and 16-yard runs in this quarter, and now his quarterback runs and got out of the bounds after a 2-yard pickup. Grenard is back indeed in the lineup.
That play, as he started off out of his stance, he just like tweaked it. And he just jumped up, holding his ankle up in the air.
Auburn's moved it to the Florida 35 after the Derek Brown sack, forced fumble recovery all in one. They fake it to Schwartz. Nick steps up, fires deep middle, a little bit behind. Canella maybe could have had it. C.J. Henderson was covering.
Would have been a tough catch, but another throw behind the receiver. Good route by Canella, very straight across the field, and no. That was a poor throw, probably about 3 yards inside it needed to be thrown. He had it too far outside.
Jamie just informed us that Whitlow is going into the Auburn medical tent, so we'll keep an eye on that. There is no running back in there. It's just the quarterback, Bo Nix.
Let's see if Florida doesn't spy for the quarterback draw here.
Blitz off the corner. Nix. They're giving chase, and he's going the wrong way and down way back at the 41-yard line.
Well, that's twice now. Auburn had opportunities for field goals. Prior to the interception, they could have ran the ball and made it a one-point game. And here, if they gain 4 or 5 yards, they have less than a 50-yard field goal on a running play. Both times, an interception and now a bad sack puts them out of field goal situation.
Really bad sack. A loss of 22. And time to punt.
Best thing about a freshman,
he's going to get older.
He's going to be a sophomore next year. That's right. You're pretty good.
This is a booming end-over-end punt. Swain's going to take a fair catch. Good kick by Sippos. Takes Florida all the way back to their own 12-yard line with 9:19 to go, and the Gators clinging to a 4-point lead. 17-13 Florida. Auburn couldn't take advantage of that forced fumble and fumble return by Derek Brown. Let's take you back to that play, though. A friend of mine said, hey, wait a minute. Wasn't the clock down to 0 when the ball was snapped? And it sort of looks like it was. So maybe that shouldn't have been a play. Gene Steratore, what do you think? Take us through the mechanics sort of that, Gene.
Yep. What they do on this one, Brad, is the official that's responsible for that is the back judge. He is looking at the play clock. When the play clock hits 0, he will take his eyes from that clock right to the ball. And if the snap occurs just after or just as that clock hits 0, they will not call that. So you really get like an extra half second there.
Perfect. Here's a bounce out by Pirine. LaMichael Pirine tight ropes the sideline. He's going to take it for the Gator touchdown. 88 yards.
No running attack all game. And then the linebacker has a chance to stop the play, bounces off the tackle, and then yards after contact, make it a long one for a touchdown. One missed tackle, the secondary's up playing really tight, and he's gone.
Daniel Thomas, the safety, is going to wish he would have used that sideline a little better and just got him knocked out of bounds, but it didn't happen. And 88 yards later, Florida adds to their lead. McPherson's extra point is good.
So Florida's been running for less than 40 yards all game. They run a first down run. The linebacker standing in the hole, and they get an 80-yard plus touchdown.
Our touchdown drives today have lasted 1 play, 2 plays, 2 plays.
Amazing.
And now the freshman quarterback and Gus Malzahn know that they're going to need some magic in the next 9 minutes because the Gators have extended their lead. Auburn's in trouble on the road with 9 minutes to go. That's the Florida sideline after an 88-yard touchdown run by LaMichael Pirine. And if you're looking for 10-play drives that go 7 minutes or something, you'd probably have to watch a different game because all our touchdown drives have happened in a hurry.
These two defenses are not allowing that.
And Auburn now.
Ness, watch what a coaching staff can do. Florida goes unbalanced with 4 players to the outside, unbalanced over here. The safety is over there, only 1 player on the left side of the field. The ball goes that way. Poor angle from the safety does not save it, and all of a sudden, it's an 88-yard touchdown.
Check in with Jamie.
Let's remind ourselves that this is the young man who paid for his own bus ticket from Mobile, Alabama to come down to run and play at a Florida camp just so the coaches could see him play. He's gone through a coaching staff transition, but he stuck it out to show his value in this offense.
And the 5th longest touchdown in Florida history on the ground. And Whitlow, who's had a good second half, tries it again against that Florida front 7.
Well, Bo Nix was heroic against Auburn. Against Oregon for Auburn in that opening drive. It'll take more from him in this last 4th quarter because this Florida defense is geared up.
Well, they need a couple touchdowns or a touchdown 2-point conversion field goal. They need a lot, let's put it that way. Nix, far side, complete. And it's J.J. Wilson, their H-back tight end. His first catch of the day.
Sometimes being down this much frees you up as a quarterback. There's no other path but to throw the football now. Mix it up with draws, but now it becomes a quarterback-receiver football game. 3rd and short, and they had not had success.
This time they do. Whitlow, good second effort, bounces off a couple of would-be tacklers and spins for a first down. Don't forget, later in the game, the play of the game presented by Jersey Mike subs. Not going to see any subs in this game. Frontline players are going to have to go the rest of the way.
Still plenty of time. Make first downs.
From the 37-yard line, Bo Nix drops, scans the field, and now he's going to take off on his own, try to get to the first down marker. He's close. Might have given it to him. I think they did. Good thing about this with the Auburn offense, it's hurry up anyway, so they don't have to worry about hurrying up.
Yeah, protection was pretty good. Coverage was real good, and Bo Nix did the smart thing and run for a first down.
Whitlow. Ooh, violent collision.
You ready to play safety in this league? You better be ready to take on running backs. And Whitlow comes right into the safety that time and says, okay.
Sean Davis says, I think I want to go to the sideline for a second. Might have been even dangling that right arm. And he's down over on the sideline once he got to the sideline. Shaken up after that collision with Whitlow. 2nd and 5, meanwhile, back on the live action. So we're under 7 minutes. Play action. Nix in trouble. Down he goes again. This time James Houston got to him.
And this time is what a delayed blitz will do for you if you're a defense. Houston waits a step, and then he comes late from the left side of the screen. Wait, and then comes in. Wait for that running back to declare who he's going to block, and then come on that delayed blitz.
And you see Bo Nix even recovered his own bobble there. Fumbled the ball at the end of the play. 3rd down and 12. As you see the clock on the top of your screen, going to be 6 minutes left in the game when he gets this snap. Nix, plenty of time, throws off his back foot, just hoping for a prayer. It's actually caught out of bounds. Will Hastings was the closest receiver.
Well, I don't know exactly what the read was. All I know is number 80, Canella, was going right across the formation, wide open to the left side. Watch Canella go right there for the first down, and this time the quarterback and the receiver are not on the same page. He had him. Canella has his arms out like, I've got it. And that time Bo does not find him.
Well, here's the play of the game for Auburn so far. 4th down and 12.
Boy, you wonder why not just punt this ball. There's still time. You've got 3 timeouts left in the game.
And there is a timeout. Taken by Florida with 5:55 remaining here in Gainesville. Well, I guess instead of Gus Malzahn, it's Guts Malzahn. 4th and 12.
Bo Nix 9 for 23 in the football game. This is a gutsy call. The whole football game is on the freshman quarterback. 4th and 12.
They've got to get it all the way to the Florida 43. Bo Nix flush sideways, waiting, and now he's going to try to run, and there's no way he's going to get there. Florida takes over on downs.
I think Gus will rethink this football game later and say, did I give enough help to my freshman quarterback? Remember when Dan Mullen kicked the field goal? He could have called this easier play early in the game to make it a smaller score for a field goal. And here on 4th and 12, that's a lot to ask for a young quarterback against a veteran defensive team that leads the SEC in interceptions with 11 coming in as we stand in this football game.
So now Florida's got it back with an 11-point lead.
And also, Brad, remember, Florida's had one running play. Yep. Besides that, I mean, at this point in the game, Florida's going to run the game. I would have challenged my defense to get a stop and get the ball back 1st and 10.
That one run Gary's talking about was Pirine, who's in the backfield with 88 yards the last time he touched it. And you can bet they're going back to him. And LaMichael gets a tough 3. Eric Brown holding on for dear life. So Pirine right now over 100 yards, obviously, with the long touchdown run. 10 carries for 124 for LaMichael. Florida has beaten 7 of the last top 10 teams that they've played, and they're trying to do it again. Would make for a happy homecoming for all the alums and the folks around Gainesville partying, but they still got 5 minutes to do it. Here's the give to Josh Hammond on an end around. Hammond gets to about the 43.
Josh Hammond.
Kyle Pitts has caught a lot of passes in this football game, and this time he's able to get the edge blocked for this Florida football team and get it into 3rd and short.
Every snap so important for Auburn wanting to get the football back. Florida's got some big games coming up and starts next week. Georgia, Florida State.
Well, you know, at South Carolina ain't going to be easier. They don't come back here to the Swamp until November 9th.
That's right.
Move back.
Trying a trick play back to Trask. It worked. I'm just not sure I keep doing this to my quarterback who's got a bad wheel.
We got gutsy Dan Mullen and gutsy Gus Malzahn and crazy Dan Mullen. Holy cow. Lucas Kroll, number 7, high school quarterback, tight end, H-back.
You know, we see them do it in practice,
yes.
But I wasn't expecting that
That's
today.
in practice.
Wow.
Just shows you their inability to run the ball all day forced a big call for Dan Mullen in a crisis situation right there, and buys another, you know, at least timeouts being called by Auburn or another 2.5 minutes off the clock.
You see they've got 10 more first downs than Auburn does, and now the clock is stopped with 3:35 remaining. Florida with the ball and an 11-point lead with 3:35 to play. Auburn still has their full complement of timeouts, and they're going to have to start using them pretty soon, depending on what the Gators do offensively here. They've already surprised us with a couple of play calls.
I'm betting run the rest of the. They're going to drain the timeouts from Auburn now.
And it's going to be Trask that does it. Oh, man, he got nailed again by KJ Britt. I guess I wouldn't be saying this if Trask didn't go down with a leg injury earlier in the ball game, but now they got him catching passes from the tight end, and they've got him running the ball and getting drilled. And,
well, KJ Britt might have missed a tackle on Pirine, but he didn't miss that one.
No, he didn't. Florida trying to go to 6-0 for the first time since 2006. They're 3.5 minutes away. And at the 36-yard line of the Auburn Tigers, 2nd down and 8. LaMichael Pirine, we got a half yard out of that again. And Dan Mullen in his 2nd year, he put together a 10-3 season last year, which was a 6-game increase. And you look at some other second-year head coaches of note, and he is flying past those guys right now.
Yeah, and he also was here, obviously, when Urban Meyer took a second-year head coaching job and went all the way to a national championship.
Right. And they're trying to win their 10th straight game. That's the 4th longest behind Clemson, Ohio State, and Appalachian State. The 3 teams with longer winning streaks. Clemson's at 20, I think, right?
Yeah. They've struggled more than we've all thought this year, haven't they?
So Auburn's down to 1 timeout. Auburn's schedule. Remember, they got a big win over Oregon and then one at Texas A&M, which is where the legend of Bo Nix, I guess, started with Oregon, and then A&M not getting rattled there, but they got ahead at Kyle Field, and that changes things a little bit as far as quieting the crowd.
Yeah, they still may have to play number 1, number 3, number 5 coming up ahead of them.
So you want to be an SEC head coach. There's your gauntlet that you have to go through before December. Trask again runs. And it's 4th down. Jamie and Sherwood made the tackle. Auburn has used its final timeout. Back in Gainesville with 3:20 to go. Now 4th down and 7 coming up for the Gators. And they are set to punt. This is the one time I'm sure Tommy Townsend would like to put one out at about the 5-yard line instead of in the end zone.
And if Auburn doesn't rush him here, he'll take his time.
And he did.
Pooch it.
Straight up in the air, and it's going to be taken at the 10, maybe the 9.
Well executed.
So 3:12 left, no timeouts for Auburn. And coming up on Monday, one of the great comedies, The Neighborhood. Cedric the Entertainer, Max Greenfield star. In The Neighborhood, Monday, 8/7 Central on CBS. So the 10-yard line for number 10. Long way to go and a short time to get there for freshman Bo Nix. Wideouts, 2 to each side. 90 yards away. They need more than a touchdown. They need a combination of scores to either even it or go ahead. First things first. Throw in the flats. And maybe 10 yards for Malik Miller. I thought he was going to get knocked out of bounds. The big fella rumbled up and I think got the first down.
Diabate, number 11 that time, needs to force that player inside the field. Got out of bounds and a first down. They're playing soft zone.
Nix overshot an open receiver that time at Hastings. And Will was open out there, and that was just a high throw.
Yeah, well, Hastings is not as big a receiver, and it has to be down in his area. And
lucky that that wasn't picked off by Marco Wilson. That would have been the game ender. 2nd and 10. Low snap. Nix handles it. Gets it out to Malik Miller again with blockers in front. He's got another first down. And taken down by Sean Davis. And again, they'll move the sticks. Clock stops temporarily here. 2:45 to go.
Florida is willing to give up yards for time right now, but they need to tackle inside the first down. Auburn needs to throw past the
and
first
again
down.
He overshot him, and this time Marco Wilson did pick it off. That'll end things.
It's like he learned from the last one. Exactly, yeah. Right? The last one is like, last time I had my eyes on 33. This time I have my eyes on the football. Hastings again, not a very tall guy, 5'9" at the most. And Wilson says, crossing route, I'll just keep my eyes on the quarterback and take the free overthrow.
He learned from the previous play,
yep.
But Bo Nix didn't. Again, the high attempt to number 33, and it ends up this time in the arms of number 3. Marco Wilson, 2nd interception of the year, and a huge one here at home for homecoming.
Well, I think, everybody thought, how much better did this Florida team have to play to beat Auburn? They have played well on that front, but Kyle Trask also, I mean, there's no doubt Dan Mullen handed the ball to his quarterback and said, we got to throw.
Yeah. First down from the 47. Michael Pirine
And I will say this for Bo Nix and the Auburn offense. 11 for 27, yes, but he didn't have that Auburn offense to help him in this football game. Florida took away the running game. 11 for 27, one touchdown pass, 3 interceptions, but he didn't have the help necessary for a freshman quarterback on the road.
He had thrown 2 interceptions coming into the game. As you see there, he's thrown 3 today. There'll be better days for that young guy.
I don't think you can put that all on him. This offense did not produce the necessary help for this normal-looking offense for Auburn.
A straight give again to Pirine. And Lamichael gets it right to the midfield stripe. Don't forget, coming up when we're done, Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans postgame show. Adam, Rick, BJ have all the scores and highlights.
It really changes the look of the East now and does it in this SEC. Even if Florida gets knocked off once before they play Georgia, that would still be a game that could determine the East.
It's going to be a happy group today, and not so good heading back to the plains of Auburn for the Tigers, who came in ranked 7th.
Georgia would be. I was looking at this game and go, ooh, we got a Florida team in Jacksonville we're going to catch in a few weeks.
Georgia, right now they're looking at Tennessee. The game just getting underway. We're under a minute here. And Florida is going to be winners in 10 straight. Gators lead the all-time series here in Gainesville. Now 24 wins against just 9 losses. John Grenard, part of the defense that was very, very stingy here in Gator country today.
Don't forget Emory Jones's part in this football game, and he came in and hit those passes. That difference of making it a 1-point game to a 4-point game changed the strategy for Gus Malzahn. I thought he should have kicked field goals and helped his quarterback to get in the game, and then all of a sudden he got caught with that long running touchdown by Florida. But Emory Jones played a big part of the game as well.
Derek Brown played a heck of a game for Auburn, but his turnovers really didn't affect the game very much at all either. And so the celebration is 9 seconds away. Let's take a look at the GMC game changer today. And that Florida defense that Gary and I said about 3.5 hours ago, they were fired up because they said, yeah, we've heard all about Auburn's defense, but what about ours? And today they showed what about theirs. With interceptions, sacks, harassing the freshman quarterback into mistakes, and they have reason to celebrate. They played brilliantly today for Todd Grantham, the defensive coordinator.
Sure did. This is the 6th matchup that Todd Grantham has gone against the Gus Malzahn offense. 4 other times of the 5 games the offense for Auburn gained over 400 yards. Today held them in check, under 300 yards.
He'll take those 3 picks and those sacks any day. Their stats are going to look pretty good. They look great coming in as far as sacking the quarterback and interceptions. They were leading the country in both categories. They're not going to hurt for leaving those stats right where they are. Impressive performance by Florida as Auburn came in averaging 38 points a game, and they're held to 13 today.
What a performance by a guy that only had 1 offer to come to Florida and basically had to wait 4 years to get his chance and then play through an injury. In this game, he's done everything. He threw it, he got injured, he came back, and he caught one to finish off the game, basically.
The most unassuming guy. When we talked to him yesterday, we were worried he didn't have a pulse.
And I asked him, he walked out, I go, Kyle, have you ever heard of the transfer portal?
Oh, he said no.
Laughed, I just want to finish my career here.
He's going to finish with a homecoming win today in the last play of the game for Auburn. And the Gators win it 24-13. Again, the first time in 13 years that they've started the season 6-0. Two offensive-minded coaches. One's offense a little better than the others today. Actually, the defenses were better than the offenses, but there were some mistakes. There was one huge play And LaMichael Pirine going 88 yards certainly helped to ice the game. Jamie's with the winning coach.
He's actually just going to go say hi to Derek Brown really quickly, so we'll give him a second to do that. Coach, it was loud at times. It wasn't really pretty, but how did you get the job done on this one?
Well, certainly our fans, all the people here in the swamp, did an unbelievable job. The atmosphere, this is why you come here. This is what the swamp's supposed to be like. This is what it's like to be a Florida Gator. A lot of adversity, turned the ball over a little too much. But we kept making plays, straining, playing hard. Guys on defense did an unbelievable job.
You've got some pretty tough quarterbacks here. What is there to say about Kyle Trask and the way he came back in and led this offense?
You know what? I mean, he got banged up, got hit, came back in, continued to lead, continued to make plays, continued to battle, and offensively found a way just to do just enough to win.
Well, I'm going to go talk to him. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
Kyle, how's that knee feeling?
It feels great.
Coach told us at halftime you were playing on a sprained Coach told us at half you were playing on a sprained MCL. Is that true?
Yeah.
How does it feel?
Feels good right now. Tonight, probably not so good.
You came here after one Division I offer for football, and you just won Florida's homecoming game. Did you ever think you'd be in this moment?
No, to be honest, I mean, this is like a dream come true right now. I'm just trying to do my best just to take it all in, man. You know, I'm so proud of our team, just offense, defense, special teams, everybody balled out, and I just can't be more proud of this team right now.
Thanks, Kyle. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Kyle finally opened up to Jamie a little bit after a yes and a no and a I feel good. Well, he's going to feel good. That might be a little stiff later, and I'm sure Breland Mullen is saying, Daddy doesn't sound like that at home. As she joined her dad out there for a homecoming victory celebration.
Good job by Marlon Davidson right there saying, hey, no hard thing. It was coming around the corner. That's where he got hit on the knee right there.
Well, now it's time for the play of the game presented by Jersey Mike Subs. And this was the one, as I told you, turned at the 5th longest rush in Florida history. The bounce out by LaMichael Pirine. The safety didn't take the right angle. He tightroped the sideline. And then it was off to the races. The biggest offensive play of the game by either team. And this is how Mick Hubert called it on the Florida Radio Network. Mick.
4 receivers out wide to the left, 4 of them. Snap the Trask, run it to Pirine, off to the right side, breaks a tackle at the 15, at the 20, at the 25, at the near sideline, to 30, down on the sideline, he's to the 50, he's into the clear, he runs to the 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Touchdown! 88 yards! Oh my, touchdown Gators!
Mick will have his blood pressure taken as soon as the game is over and he does the post game. So Florida, big win, big run, and a happy time for homecoming. 24-13 is the final. So the Gators are perfect at 6-0. Auburn suffers its first defeat and will probably fall out of the top 10 somewhere in the top 15. That's going to do it for Gary Danielson, Jamie Erdahl, Brad Nessler saying so long from Gainesville. Final score, 24-13. Gators college football postgame show presented by Rocket Mortgage is up next after these messages. From the swamp, we say good night.